7 cities built
by JT.
Shot, and if not, take it strong to the basket.
So far, every team that has faced the Sonics have been unable to solve that, and that includes the Houston Rockets. And in Game 3 of the previous series, the Sonics won the first two and won Game 3 after withstanding a challenge. They took the best shot Houston gave them, and they steadied themselves and won on the road. Here's Hornacek inside, out to Karl Malone, and a bump travel call on Malone.
See, that's a stunner, because you saw the trap down in low on Hornacek. On the pass out, if you don't have an open shot, reverse the ball.
Payton, averaging 22 points a game in postseason, led the Sonics with 18 points and had 8 assists in the last game. Feeds Percy Hawkins for the first point.
See, they brought Shrimp on that baseline screen. They double-team Deadlift, and he can pass. Not only can he score, he can pass, and he can handle the ball.
Isn't much that Deadlift Shrimp can't do at 6'10". Pretty imposing forward. Here's Hornacek going in for one of the rare layups that he's been able to get.
See, that's that second pass, Dick. Out of the traps, the first pass, they put so much pressure on the rotation, you've got to make the second pass.
Three-point basket by Gary Payton. So Payton, who is 44% from threes in this series, gives the Sonics a 3-point lead.
His overall game has just been devastating in this series.
Here's Chris Morris. He's going for 3 and short. And Hornacek with the hook shot gets the hoop. But the Jazz are going to need the small forward to get points for them tonight. 5-4 the score. Kemp handling it for the first time. Throws the ball away to Morris inside. Stockton right now. The Sonics unable to trap him. And Malone put up the shot inside in a hurry. And a timeout was called by the Jazz before the tie-up. It's 20-second timeout.
Karl Malone is stunned that he did not get on the foul line. And he's made a comment to Mike Mathis because on the play, the first down, they call the travel. And he feels that as he ran to this post up right here, he feels that he gets hit. Well, you could have called it either way if you're Mike Mathis. That could have been a block. And then also, if you're a Seattle fan, naturally, it was a charge.
Malone, as you pointed out, went to the line 16 times and converted 12 of them in Game 2 after going only 1 for 6 in Game number 1. But he has scored big time, and you mentioned with the one Jazz player to do it, 21 in Game 1 and 32 points and 13 boards in Monday's Game 2.
The mailman is doing what he's supposed to do, Dick. When you say 27 points, then you say 11 rebounds, and then you say 11 foul shot attempts a game. I mean, what else is the guy supposed to do for you? He just needs some help.
And we're saying that. Hornacek handling the ball on the perimeter. Stockton coming around, denying him effectively as Payton. Picked up by Kemp on the double team. Malone, baseline shot. Good defense by Irvin Johnson, but Karl Malone gets the rebound. Still no foul, and Malone's got to be getting a little angry.
Yeah, I would say so. I'd say that he's going to be a little upset here. And the main thing is to calm down and just go with the flow and don't force.
Well, they're letting him play at the outset because Deadlift Shrimp was hit on that jump shot, and no foul was called on that play.
Well, we say this all the time at playoffs. You adjust to the personality after the first 5 or 6 minutes that the game is being refereed. These guys are not going to change. So now you must change if you're going to stay in this game and you are going to play to your maximum potential. You cannot get riled.
Karl Malone picked up the personal, and Irvin Johnson, who has averaged 4 points, doesn't play that much time, but is still an impressive shot blocker inside.
Thing I like about this guy, he only plays 17 minutes, Dick, but he gives them 5 rebounds in 17 minutes and 2 shot blocks as well as scoring.
Forget Gary Payton. The Sonics in front, and a whistle and a foul.
Yeah, Gary Payton grabbed John Stockton, took him to the ground. Jackie Neese caught that. He was right on that.
So Payton and Malone have personal fouls in the early going for Utah.
Now just keep an eye on this. Watch what happens. See, Payton grabs him right here. See, Stockton ran him into the screen, then Payton grabbed a hold of him.
In college wrestling, it's 2 points on a takedown.
Well, you know, you always test the refs early, Dick.
It looked like Gary was doing just that. Karl Malone misses. He's 0 for 4 from the field. Irvin Johnson was in his face, so Malone trying to find the range. Sonics lead by 3 with 2.5 minutes gone by in the opening period. Detlef Schrempf hits the jump shot smoothly, and the Sonics are up by 5.
The difference in the two games that we were doing, game 2 and this one already, at one end they're getting wide open shots, and at the other everything is a struggle.
Mike Mathis calling a foul inside, and Irvin Johnson with an elbow. So Johnson picking up the personal foul. George Karl, who told us today, I'm looking for one win. It's no surprise on the road, would have a 3-1 lead going back home. That's nice. He's not looking to sweep again, huh?
No, well, you know, like he said, all he wants is at the end of the night, they walk out of the gym and they said, listen, they beat us as long as we left it all out on the floor.
Karl Malone foul as he drives the lane, and the personal is against Irvin Johnson, who has picked up 2 quick fouls. So we may see Sam Perkins make an early appearance.
Now, see, George can afford to allow Johnson to stay in a game and get 3 if he wants to. Otherwise, he can come with Perkins. It might not be, because if you think about it, he's rather expendable. In the course of the season, Sam always averaged over 30 minutes. And in this series, Perkins is averaging right at his 30 minutes.
Malone is a 59% free throw shooter in the series, and that's what he's been in the playoffs. At times has struggled from the free throw line. Jerry Sloan today telling us that I'll be as interested in you to see how we react against the tremendous quickness and defensive pressure that the Sonics put on.
Well, everyone will say the same thing. On the catch, if you don't have a wide open shot, you have to move the ball, and that's what he's concerned about. And he's concerned about all the loose balls and then putting a body on people and keeping them off the offensive boards.
1 out of 2 for Malone. The lead is 4 for the Sonics. They go into Schrempf, who's guarded by Chris Morris. Payton, who's already hit 1 3, short with this one. And here is Hornacek out of the pack. Stockton inside, and Malone going in. Bangs with Kemp and the basket. No question, they're going to let him play tonight, and the fans will appreciate that as Malone gets his first basket. Kemp looking inside, nothing doing. Schrempf travels as he tried to get around Morris.
If I'm Seattle, I like what we're doing defensively right now. We're forcing him into very difficult shots. What we have to do right now, they are running more in the early part of this game than they have in game 1 and game 2.
Jazz trying to get back and win this game number 3. They've been in the playoffs 13 straight years, never been in the finals. Goaltending has been called against Irvin Johnson, and credit the basket to Malone.
Now just watch, you're going to see that was a dump down to Karl, and you can see the ball was on its way down. What they did is they back screen, and Karl went right to the front of the rim.
Stockton double team now on Payton, who puts it up with a left-handed shot, misses. Offensive rebound by Hawkins. Good pass to Schrempf. Double team on Detlef. Here's Payton again. He hits it, his second from downtown, and the score is 12-9 in favor of Seattle.
Payton loves that corner for the three-point shot.
So far, Malone and Hornacek have accounted for all 9 of the Jazz points. Here is Morris. Misses the baseline. Hornacek fights his way in, blocked by Shawn Kemp.
Well, with Kemp and Johnson out there, you have 2 terrific shot blockers.
And Trent getting open. So you're seeing Seattle with intimidating inside defense with the shot blockers, and Trent and Payton getting free to hit the jumpers.
Anytime that you catch Seattle in transition, the one guy that you have to get to is Detlef Schrempf for the three-point shooting. The Sonics 3 for 4 in threes.
Just take a look around. Darkness rules the earth.
In a dangerous world.
Governments crumble. Chaos reigns.
In a treacherous time.
There is opportunity in chaos.
Evil is a fact.
Drax is on a quest for a supernatural power.
And courage.
Stop them. You're the only one who can.
Is a phantom.
Who was that guy?
Somebody I already killed.
There are some who say he is only a myth. Soon they will discover the Phantom is real. Rated PG. At theaters everywhere. Friday, June 7th.
Your pulse quickens. Your eyes lock in. You hear the snap of the ball, and all you can think is, I'm ready for the NFL on TNT. Get your first jolt of the football season with the NFL on TNT. Coming August 8th.
The basketball is right here with John Stockton. You're going to see Hornacek come up, set a back screen for Malone, then he's going to step to the top of the circle. Now, as Malone cuts down, he's going to the front of the rim, then he's going to seal his man on his back. Now, keep an eye on this now. Here comes your back screen. Now, once the screen is set, Hornacek pops up. Now, he's looking right down in front, seal the man, put it up, but here comes the shot blocker. Goaltender.
But on the next time down, it was Shawn Kemp with the block. So there you see the 3 for 4, as you pointed out, Hubie. Seattle from downtown. Utah has yet to hit. And they were a good three-point shooting team during the regular season, but have struggled here. And I guess when you look at shooting percentages, Seattle's defense has lowered them considerably.
Well, during the course of the year, Seattle averaged 23 attempts a game, 20 three-point shots. That was fourth in the league.
Great pass, Malone to Chris Morris driving the baseline, and it's 15-11 Seattle. 5 minutes gone by here in the opening quarter, game 3. Stockton trying to deny or overplay Payton, and now Felton Spencer doubles Kemp, who hits from outside. Sonics are making their outside shots. That was a 2-point basket.
Now, you have to love that. Now, you can see they trapped Payton, and no one rotated to Shawn Kemp at the potential 3. He stepped inside the line.
Illegal defense called against the Seattle Sonics. That has been a bone of contention for teams that have had to face this defense throughout the playoffs.
Well, George is happy. I mean, his guys hustle. You never have to worry for lack of hustle with Seattle. They not only trap, everyone rotates. You cannot have a weak link when you trap as much as they do.
Stockton single covered and a foul away from the ball. Irvin Johnson looking at Hugh Hollins and has picked up his 3rd personal foul. And now Sam Perkins will get off the bench for the Sonics and come in.
Now this is a normal rotation for Seattle. This is going to be a baseline screen. Keep an eye on it right here. And you're going to see, now that's unnecessary. Why grab a guard and swing him out of the way? The main thing is you're either coming over the top and denying, or you're going to belly up on Karl Malone on the baseline.
You saw the impressive numbers by Sam Perkins, who continues to be a star off the bench in the playoffs. A tough matchup for every team he's played in the postseason. Good screen by Spencer on Morris, but he's not hitting, and the rebound. Schlem comes down, and Hornacek has fought for the offensive rebound, and another foul called against the Sonics inside.
Now Hornacek, that's the 2nd offensive board in this series. Jeff has been doing an excellent job in rebounding a lot of the missed shots, and he's getting down in there and he's putting his nose in, and that has to happen, because when you launch the 3s, the rebounds are coming out to the foul line on the misses.
Hawkins with the personal foul, and Hornacek, who has 4 rebounds in all. You mentioned 2 off the offensive glass. Is now 12 of 13 in the series and 94% in the playoffs from the line. Antoine Carr, who played 30 minutes in Game 2, replaces Felton Spencer, and that's the most points that Carr played throughout the year.
Well, it's something that Jerry has got to go with. Antoine Carr is a scorer, where Spencer and Ostertag are basically rebounders. So right now he's looking for a little shot in the arm with another score.
That was most minutes, of course, 30 in Game 2. And Payton, nearly knocked down, hits another 3. So Gary Payton now has 9 points on 3 from downtown, and a 7-point Sonic lead is their biggest of this first quarter.
They're catching John Stockton, trying to double team down inside, and then they're screening him, and that's opening Payton in the corner.
And Morris travels. So Chris Morris, struggling at the start of this game, scored 8 points in game 2 and is averaging 7.5, but he has yet to find the range. And the Sonics hitting from all cylinders, 4 for 5 from three-point range.
Right now, Utah's problem, you'd say, well, they're not scoring. Their biggest problem is they cannot stop these people at the other end.
And getting knocked to the floor is Hornacek, and we'll have a foul. Shawn Kemp has picked up his first personal foul.
Yeah, Shawn Kemp received a screen on the other side of the lane. As he came across, Hornacek just stepped right in front of him.
Utah so far going to Antoine Carr off the bench, and they do not have much experience other than Carr of their reserves, and that's hurt them. Malone with a great pass to Stockton. Touch pass inside, but Morris can't convert the layup. And Hugh Hollins is going to change his call. He pointed to the other direction.
Yeah.
But the foul will be right here against Seattle.
See, now once you had an advantage, you had a 2-on-1 situation. Stockton makes the kick out. Morris has got to finish. You cannot be just standing. You have to be moving to the basket. And Stockton made a perfect pass. Morris leaves it and doesn't finish.
And Hubie, the Sonics already in the penalty with 5 for 14 remaining in the first quarter. And here is Morris, who is struggling at 1 for 5 from the field. Hits the free throw, however. And it's a 6-point game. Chris Morris, 7 years with the New Jersey Nets before signing with Utah as a free agent. We're here at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, game 3 of the Western Conference Finals. Sonics lead 2-0 in games. Dick Stockton, Hubie Brown, and Reggie Theus, and 1 for 2 for Morris from the line. Payton to Perkins, air ball, lost out of bounds by Chris Morris, and he is playing this first quarter in a foul.
Yeah, they're going to substitute for him right now. Brian Russell is coming into the game for Morris. It isn't like that position is not getting good looks. Morris has had all good looks at the basket. They need someone to finish.
And Howard Isley takes his jacket off and comes in at point guard, replacing John Stockton. Stockton, of course, been an Iron Man, has various ailments, not making excuses, but may not play as many minutes tonight. Steal by Hornacek as he recovered on the pass off his foot. Ryan Russell with a big series against San Antonio puts up his first shot. So the small forward position not getting it done scoring-wise thus far.
Well, see, that was smart by Shrimp. What he said was, I'm not going to let you take me off the dribble. I'm going to force you to hit a jump shot. You just came in the game.
Illegal defense called against the Jazz, and that is a savvy move by Detlef Schrempf with all the experience he's had.
One thing you never want to have happen is a guy just comes in a game, and then you run at him, and he takes you off the dribble and breaks the defense down.
Shawn Kemp out of balance, looking for the foul, and gets it. That'll be only the second team foul called against the Jazz in the first quarter, and it's against Antoine Carr. Vincent Askew getting set to come into the game, another one of the great defensive specialists that George Karl can call on. Kemp, 8 of 11 from the line in the series, makes the first, and Askew replaces Hersey Hawkins in the Sonic lineup. Hawkins scored 2 points.
The interesting thing about Kemp's numbers in this series, he's averaging 18 points a game, and he is only taking 9 shots a game. That is fantastic. Shooting 78% from the floor.
But the crowd has been kept out of the game because the Sonics have opened up an 8-point lead. They have led throughout from the opening moments. Down to 4:15 to go in the first quarter. Carr posting up against Kemp and misses the hook shot.
No one on the glass. See, no second shot attempts for Utah.
Pass inside to Kemp. Good positioning for Kemp, but he never had control, and the Jazz wind up with it on the turnover.
Yeah, Antoine Carr got popped right in the face, and that was an excellent strip by Malone of Kemp. He's not a shot blocker, Dick, but what he is he strips people.
Hornacek on a great bounce pass from Karl Malone, and Payton coming right back with a runner, and
get it out
off the rim, and here come the Jazz.
Yeah, get it out.
3-on-2 break, and here's Brian Russell with the layup, and the crowd has something to cheer about for the first time.
Absolutely. That's the first true fast break that we've seen where they've had a 3-on-2 with numbers, and then I like the way Russell finished. No doubt in his mind, he was taking it strong.
Russell, big time against San Antonio, has been relatively quiet in this series. But as you pointed out, was a starter a couple of years ago and seeing a lot of time in postseason for Jerry Sloan.
Well, second-round draft pick out of Long Beach State. He started 48 games that first year. This year, he started 15, but then they gave most of the games to Morris or Benoit.
Askew lost control of it, out of bounds, last touch by the Jazz as Mike Mathis overruled Jack Nees. And 5 seconds on the shot clock for the Sonics. And now a full timeout called by Seattle with 3:13 remaining in the opening quarter.
If you're up early enough to have the road to yourself, driving can actually be fun.
My hot rod days are over, but I'm still more likely to pass than to be passed.
Sometimes on the weekends, my husband and I just like to kind of take off and lose ourselves in the beautiful scenery. If he's driving, west.
That way. I'm not.
That's very easy.
Now with $600 cash back, Ford Contour is just $14,590. Or get incredible 2.9% APR financing. Hurry, this offer ends soon.
It's the fastest sheet metal Motor City makes. And these guys push it to the limit. To survive the chaos means split decisions at breakneck speeds and no room for fear. It's Winston Cup. It's Busch Grand National. It's NASCAR on TNN Motorsport.
NASCAR on TNN is brought to you in part by Ref Sports Club and Grill at Jefferson Avenue, Newport News.
The sun is hot, and so are the deals on new Suzukis during Summer Value Days. On now at your nearby Suzuki dealer. X90, part car, part sports utility, full-time fun. Now, only $99 a month. All new Sidekick Sport, the luxury-equipped 4-door 4x4. Just $179 a month, and that's before you make your best deal. During Suzuki's Summer Value Days, you can drive a lot of fun for not a lot of money. Buy a Suzuki today at Checkered Flag, Virginia Beach.
This program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
We'd like to show you the basketball is here. Seattle is rotating the ball. You're going to see Gary Payton take Stockton right into the screen. Now watch Stockton. We call this double spacing. He gets caught. As soon as Payton sees that, he reads the defense and he floats, and you're going to see a pass right here for a three. Keep an eye on it now. Read the defense. Anytime your man double spaces, then you just float, spot up, receive the pass, you're by yourself. That's his second three from that spot.
Gary Payton has 3 of the 4 3-point baskets for the Sonics, who are 4 for 6. That's 12 points to nothing on threes, as Utah 0 for 3, and Chris Morris took all 3 attempts while he was in the game. Turnover, Sonics turn it over, and here's Hornacek.
Beautiful.
Jeff Hornacek with 10 points, off to his best start in this series by far.
He's playing terrific, because not only is he scoring, he's setting great screens, and then he's also on the boards with his 4 rebounds.
Inside, and a spectacular play by Gary Payton amongst the Giants inside. Payton now has 11. He leads the Sonics. Hornacek with 10 is the top scorer for the Jazz. It's 24-20 with 2:38 remaining in the first in favor of Seattle. They have led throughout this entire quarter. Hornacek double teamed. He was looking to shoot. 7 on the shot clock now for the Jazz. And a foul on the pass called on Detlef Schrempf, and that will be his first personal foul.
Now keep an eye on Hornacek as he gets to the foul line. You'll say a little hesitation, the defense moved, and now he's taking it right to the hole.
Nate McMillan has replaced Detlef Schrempf in the Seattle lineup. McMillan, who is the glue, according to George Karl, defensively, can also hit from outside, as he has done. In fact, he said McMillan and Perkins have been flawless off the bench for us in the playoffs.
In this series, McMillan is not only averaging 6 points, he's giving them 5 rebounds and 5 assists in 28 minutes of play. That's what George means. Plus, he's one of their defensive stoppers.
Hornacek with 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 for 4 from the line, keeping the Jazz in this game as they trail by 2 now with 2:20 to go. First quarter. Double team now, a triple on Kemp. And wide open, McMillan. And he misses a 2. He was wide open, though.
Yeah, but the main thing is that they double team and help out down inside and make Seattle, the new guys, the bench guys, hit the threes.
And Malone tries to get the shot up in a hurry. He can't. Malone now 2 of 7 from the field. And 5 points, under 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter, and traveling called against Vincent Askew in the paint.
Anytime that Vinny Askew catches the ball in the post area, he's taking you strong. If they catch him on the wing, he's taking you off the dribble. You know that. The main thing you must protect, do not get posted up by him deep in the paint.
Sonics have turned it over 6 times in this first quarter. That's a lot for them, but they still lead by 2. Here is Hornacek, and that was a 3-point attempt. Would have given the Jazz their first lead. Here is Payton spinning around, out of control. Quick pass, Askew inside, and Carr bangs bodies and will commit his second personal foul.
Well, that was an excellent call. Askew had Carr on his back in the paint in front of the rim. You can't let that happen. You've got to get around on either the top side or front the guy. That's a gimme in the NBA.
So Carr, the most experienced benchman that Jerry Sloan has picked up 2 fouls here. Vincent Askew misses the first free throw. And our first look tonight at Greg Ostertag, who was picked on the 28th choice in last year's draft, a rookie from Kansas, scoreless with 1 rebound in last game.
Well, they need him on the boards, and they need him to come alive offensively in the paint. Now, Vinny Askew, during his career, is a 74% foul shooter. But during the course of the playoffs, he has really been struggling. He's in that mid-50% area.
I like the way you call him Vinny, like you know him well. Vincent is what those of us who don't know him well will call him. 1:19 to go, 25-22 to Sonics. Isley, who's been impressive and aggressive since coming in for John Stockton, and Hornacek in the backcourt. Ostertag and Russell, and the fall away by Malone hits. Karl Malone now with 7, and it's a 1-point game. 20 on the shot clock and 56 in the quarter.
What they're doing now with Russell playing Payton, they're trying to take away the posting up, and he's saying, I can do a few other things.
He has 13 points, 3 from downtown on 5 for 8 shooting. And the Sonics by 3. Malone, guarded by Perkins, throws the ball away. Askew picked it off. He wanted to get it to Isley. Askew working against Hornacek, throws the ball away himself. So back-to-back turnovers gives the ball back to the Jazz.
Now you're going to see this down inside. Now this is Karl's favorite move from that spot. He'll always step at you like he's going, but what he's going to do. Now here you can see Russell went underneath the screen, and Payton is on fire on his perimeter game.
John Stockton back in the game, and Russell goes out, so 2 point guards are in the game now with less than a half a minute.
And moving Hornacek up front, the reason is they're looking for a perimeter potential 3-point shot.
14 on the shot clock, about a 2 and a fraction second differential.
Now you're going to have a high screen and roll, and then we'll see if anyone opens up.
Stockton for 3, front rim, rebound by Payton.
Plenty of time.
Seattle still has a chance to get the shot off. Payton's been red hot. Not this time, but the Sonics and George Karl will take the first quarter effort on the road. Unlike the Houston Game 3, they're in front after 1 by a score of 27-24.
They knew we were coming, man. Do you read me?
Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible, rated PG-13, now playing in theaters everywhere.
Beck's, the original import. Taste German beer at its finest. Beck's, America's favorite German beer.
Yeah.
It's all good on the hardwood, remaining calm. My game is tight and the bomb like Shawn. Simply on the mission when transition is the game. Steady on the game, it's the man who make it rain. Came on the scene, green at 19. Critics intervened, but I still made the dream. Now the whole world is mine to reinvent, where my skills represent like my name was Shawn Kemp. Yeah, you better understand it. This is my planet.
We're hot and wow. Call Domino's now.
There's only one pizza that makes my picky taste buds go ooh, ooh, ooh. It's Domino's Pizza, just the way Domino's does it. That crust with that pepperoni, those zesty herbs. I like the deep dish crust, the hand-tossed crust, any Domino's crust. Just crust, crust, crust. You've got to try your favorite toppings and tons of cheese on that Domino's crust. It's your turn. For Hot and Wild, call Domino's now. And in a few minutes, you'll know what I mean.
There's something about my hat that makes me feel mellow. When I wear it, I just want to chill. Some teams think I should wear it, even when I play. Get real.
Logo Athletic, authentic NBA licensed product.
You can just pick up a Napa part and feel the quality. When you look at the price, it feels even better.
Pick up your share of quality products at Napa's Red, White, and Blue sale. With Autolite resistor spark plugs only 69 cents after rebate. An Evercraft 25-piece toolkit just $15.99. And STP products free after bonus rebates. So come, save some green at Napa's Red, White, and Blue sale.
America running.
Welcome back to Salt Lake City. Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals between the Seattle Sonics and the Utah Jazz. After one quarter, the Sonics lead 27-24. They had a lead up to 8 in that first quarter. Shooting percentage, Utah, which has been at 40% throughout the series, at 39 right now, but they have more points inside, scoreless from three-point territory. And Frank Burkowski, who George Karl said played Karl Malone defensively as good as anyone in Game 2 in there now.
Well, in 5 minutes, he had 4 fouls and a technical. So, yeah.
Depends how you look at the game, right?
That's right.
Askew has his shot blocked by Karl Malone. And we have a stoppage of play and a foul call as they were coming up court, and that will be on Askew, his first.
Now you can see they're looking for a flop on Russell, but Karl Malone recovers and gets the shot blocked.
Jazz starting out with Karl Malone, Greg Ostertag, Chris Morris back in the game, and in the backcourt it's Brian Russell and John Stockton. So really one pure guard in there, and that's Stockton. Going with a bigger team. Chris Morris still having problems from the field now. 0 for 4.
Yeah, he's 0 for 4, and they are 0 for 6 in threes.
Perkins from outside. Morris finds Malone and overthrows him. And once again, Chris Morris, who has turned it over twice and really having a rough go of it in this first half.
You never throw a same plane pass to a guy who has the defender running alongside of him and expect to hit him. And if he completed that, we'd get him a tryout in the NFL.
He'd win a job, too.
Right now, Utah only shooting 39%, Seattle 53.
Payton is in there along with Askew, Burkowski, McMillan, and Perkins. So Shawn Kemp is on the bench. And good defense by Utah as McMillan had to throw up a desperation shot as the buzzer sounded.
The second unit definitely not in sync for Seattle. Payton, the only starter out on the floor with this group.
Leading scorers in the game for Utah, Hornacek, who's on the bench right now with 11, and Payton, who is in the game with 13.
Do you keep Ostertag high? Anytime you double team, you never have to guard Ostertag out high. So you can run all the rotations that you'd like.
Off the turnover, Payton's way short. And it came down to McMillan. Getting the loose ball, so important.
That's his game.
Perkins for 3 and hits. Perkins will beat you low post and from downtown as he hits his first. Sam Perkins, 7 of 10 from downtown in this series.
Well, during the course of the year, he averaged 4 a game, attempt 4 a game, shot 36%. So you know you've got to rotate to him and force him to dribble the ball.
Poster tag over Perkins, short. And the rebound by Burkowski. It's 30-24. The Jazz had cut the deficit to 1, but now a 6-point lead again for Seattle. Burkowski finds Payton. 10 on the shot clock. Good pass. Askew to Perkins. Great pass by Vincent Askew.
The entire bench is up for Seattle. See, that's unselfish play. Askew could have forced the shot. Instead, he makes the extra pass. They break the defense down.
Sonics come out strong. They have run off 7 in a row here in the second.
Make no mistake, Bill is here. Introducing more. More hip room. More comfort. More than Civic, Sentra, Escort, or Corolla. And oh yes, more headroom than ever. The all-new Elantra. More car. The Elantra was designed for your safety with standard dual airbags, side impact protection, and available 4-channel anti-lock brakes. The all-new Elantra. More car. And right now, the Elantra is even more affordable with $750 cash back.
Consider the tortilla. By itself, not much. But look what happens when Applebee's gets hold of it. Suddenly, that shy little tortilla becomes the sizzling, steaming star of the dining room. So come to Applebee's today and see what a hard-working tortilla can make of itself.
America's favorite neighbor, Applebee's.
At Williamsburg Ford Lincoln Mercury, we were in the midst of a puzzle. What did we have to do to sell more cars and trucks? Well, when the pieces came together, we had the answer. And that was to make it our goal to offer prices at least $300 less than the competition on every car, truck, and van on our lot. And have bigger inventory so you can find exactly what you want. With these policies, we know we can earn your business. So even if you live miles away in other market areas, it's worth a trip to Williamsburg Ford Lincoln Mercury. A few money-saving minutes from anywhere.
On all the ball rotations with Seattle, you must get to Perkins early, and when you do, force him to dribble. This is one of the many threes that he'll shoot right in your face. Now over here, he has the ball. He's going to pass it right there to Gary Payton. The ball is going to come out to Vinny Askew, and watch him run without the ball right to the front of the rim for that layup. This is just a beautiful play. This is unselfish basketball, give and go. The middle opens up in your face.
On the other side, Antoine Carr, who picked up 2 fouls, now back in the game, gets his first field goal to break a 7-point string. Of course, you mentioned Sam Perkins, the only member of the Sonics who have been to the NBA Finals. That was the Lakers in '91. Here's Payton with a turnaround left-hander. Payton now with 15 points, the game-high scorer.
He's just on fire, and he knows that he can shoot over Isley and also over Stockton anytime that he gets into the paint.
Here's Brian Russell hitting from downtown. Russell, and that's the first basket from three-point land for the Utah Jazz tonight. Collapse around Perkins, leaving Burkowski open, and he can hit the three as he proved in the series against Sacramento. Missed there, and here come the Jazz. Down by 5. Stockton with only 1 assist, no points so far in 12 minutes. Here is Benoit, missing from outside. David Benoit, who started 63 games as small forward for the Jazz.
If Utah just stands around and launches all these threes, they're going to go down big here. The main thing is we get back into your offense.
Burkowski misses his second straight from behind the arc. Utah 1 of 7 from downtown. You mentioned their penchant from shooting threes, and there is Brian Russell. And that one was blocked out of bounds. Right now, let's check in with Reggie Theus.
Well, in that timeout over the Jazz huddle, Jerry Sloan was saying, you guys are losing your composure. You're running around shooting threes like a chicken with his head cut off. Guys?
Well, he's right on top of that. They're totally out of whack. They're not running their offense, and they're not showing any game down in there, and that's what they have to do. They have to establish a low post game, and if they take away the low post game and they foul you, that's what the low post game is all about. Getting to the foul line, getting fouls on people and forcing people out.
There's the big differential, and it's been that way throughout the series, but bigger tonight with Peyton outscoring Stockton 15-0, thanks to 6 of 11 from the field. Antoine Carr getting inside and drawing the personal foul. That was called against Burkowski.
Coming into tonight's game, Gary Payton has been getting 16 shots a night. Stockton only 9 because of all the trapping. Tonight, there has been a limited amount of trapping on Stockton. He just cannot get into the flow of the offense.
Shawn Kemp back in the lineup, so it'll be Kemp with Burkowski up front and a smaller lineup with Hawkins, Askew, and McMillan, and an offensive foul called against the Seattle Sonics.
Yeah, Nate McMillan is trying to plead his case right now with Mike Matthews, saying, look, he got in front of me. Stockton is very feisty about creating the push from the other player.
Stockton penetrating out of bounds, knocked to the deck, and a personal foul.
They were lucky there, Dick. There was no player on the receiving end of that pass.
Vincent, don't call me Vinny Askew, not called for that foul. It's Nate McMillan with his second personal. And a technical foul called against Nate McMillan. He started arguing on the previous play and then ensured the technical on this call.
Yeah, well, you know, Askew did a good job by calling Nate back and telling him, listen, you know, come back, step back. You know, you've got to be out on the floor for us, especially in the second half.
Believe it or not, this is Stockton's third attempt from the free throw line, and this on a technical in this series as he connects. And now the Jazz trail by 2. Seattle was up by 8 in the first quarter and stretched it down to 8 again in the second after Utah narrowed it to 1. And now John Stockton can bring the Jazz to within 1 and can tie it up on this free throw.
Now, during the first 2 foul shot attempts, Hersey Hawkins and Nate McMillan are giving Hugh Hollins an earful, and he is telling both of them that is enough.
7:36 remaining in the first half. Stockton misses the free throw that could have tied the game. So now the Jazz have run off 7 in a row. Sonics did that a few moments ago. Hawkins looking inside to Kemp. Felton Spencer defending him. And illegal defense call against the Jazz.
Yeah, they catch John Stockton in the lane.
That's a technical now. That's the second call.
Anytime that the ball goes into the post, John Stockton will leave his man. It was on the other side of the floor. When the ball was rotated out, he just stayed in the painted area.
Hersey Hawkins. 4 for 4 from the line in the series.
You know, a lot of people are saying Hersey Hawkins is not involved in this series. But, you know, for a guy who scores so many points during the course of the regular season, 15 a game, he's only getting 6 shot attempts. And then also they've gone to other rotations.
And he's had to play the off guard throughout the playoffs. So his offense has been curtailed because of that. And Brian Russell committing the foul on Hawkins. He had to play Mitch Richmond. Then he had to deal a little bit with Clyde Drexler and then Jeff Hornacek in this series.
Well, he's done a good job in games 1 and 2 on Hornacek, keeping him to a very low shooting percentage.
And it's a foul as Russell goes down.
Frank Burkowski picked him off perfectly as he was coming up on a down screen. Wow, he just laid him right out.
Burkowski will do that.
Now keep an eye on this. Now there's a down screen. You can see he just stepped out and caught him with a forearm.
Flagrant foul.
Flagrant foul. He catches him with that forearm and puts him down.
So Hubie, the Sonics realizing going on the road now, and they've decided to raise up the physical aspect a couple of notches to beat the Jazz to the punch perhaps on the road.
Yeah, but what has happened now in the last 3 minutes, they've lost their focus at the offensive end of the floor, and they're complicating it, compounding everything by fouling unnecessarily and getting themselves into problems, because if one thing the Jazz can do, they can make foul shots. You're holding them in their three-point game and in their regular field goal shooting, so don't put them on the line.
12 for 15 on the line for the Jazz, and the crowd anticipating the first lead of the game. We're tied at 35-35 with 7:05 remaining in the first half. David Benoit will inbound. And the crowd will erupt if the Jazz finally get their first lead of the game. Stockton behind the car. And here's Brian Russell with the jumper. It doesn't happen on that time down the court.
Excellent ball movement, and that's going to be there. 2 passes or 3 passes will open up for you.
McMillan looking for Kemp inside. Spencer doing a good job of denying. Here's Askew driving to the hoop as only he does, but he kicks the ball out of bounds. It'll be Utah's ball.
I'm surprised that they continue to go away from Shawn Kemp because Utah is playing him from the rear. He's open, but they go away from him and shake him off too quick, Dick.
That was the 11th Sonics turnover of this first half.
Introducing more agility.
The tires bite into turns with an eagerness that begs for more.
The all-new Elantra from Hyundai. More car. Choose the Elantra wagon or sedan. Either way, you're traveling in more style. The warranty speaks volumes about the quality of the car. And the Elantra has a longer powertrain warranty than Neon or Saturn. More warranty, more car. The all-new Elantra. And right now, the Elantra is even more affordable with $750 cash back.
For hot and wild, call Domino's now.
There's only one pizza that makes my picky taste buds go ooh, ooh, ooh. It's Domino's Pizza, just the way Domino's does it. That crust with that pepperoni, those zesty herbs. I like the deep dish crust, the hand-tossed crust, any Domino's crust. Just crust, crust, crust. You've got to try your favorite toppings and tons of cheese on that Domino's crust. It's your turn. For hot and wild, call Domino's now. And in a few minutes, you'll know what I mean.
Growing up, I was probably the biggest kid in my neighborhood. No, I was definitely the biggest. I don't remember exactly when I figured out it would be pretty easy to get my way. I think it was in 7th grade.
It's our ball.
It's our ball.
But I decided then that I wasn't going to use my size.
Hold it, hold it, hold it. Next one's on.
I wanted to use my head, and I still do.
Welcome back to the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, along with Hubie Brown and Reggie Theus. This is Dick Stockton. Game 3, the Sonics looking to win on the road as they did in Houston in Game 3 when they ultimately knocked out the 2-time defending champions in 4 straight to get to the Western Conference Finals. You're looking at the technical foul. Askew committed the tee, and Stockton will go to the line. And he can give Utah their lead for the first time tonight. Biggest lead the Sonics have had, 8 points. And once again, John Stockton misses the free throw. He is 2 for 4 at the line, unlike John Stockton.
Well, he's very upset with himself. We're talking about an 83% shooter. He's always between 83 and 88 throughout his entire career. Now, Shawn Kemp, this is a big thing. He only has 2 field goal attempts. They're not even looking at him. They're not having patience.
Offensive foul. And that's Felton Spencer inside, and that will be Spencer's first foul. That's amazing that the Sonics have the lead, and Kemp has not been part of what they're doing.
That's right. And so you know you're in good shape in the second half. Big thing here tonight, stop headhunting on the screens. Screen an area, stop, and let the guy come off the screen, decide which way he's going to come.
And they call Kemp for the offensive foul, and a good call by Hugh Hollins as he bumped Spencer inside and picks up his second personal.
Well, I think he's controlling himself pretty good. He's leaning back. Essentially, you're allowed to put the forearm in the lower back. You can see he's backing into him.
Detlef Schrempf has returned to the game. So right now, it's a big lineup of Brukowski, Schrempf, Payton, along with McMillan and Hersey Hawkins. Payton is on the bench right now. Six on the shot clock, double team on Malone. Russell driving in, and Kemp made him change his shot.
That was excellent team defense. Great play by Karl Malone.
Out of bounds. Last touch by the Sonics.
A good call by Mike Matthews, and also Jackie Neese was right on top of that.
Jeff Hornacek also back in the game for the Jazz, so they have Hornacek, Stockton, Russell, Carr, and Malone. Sonics have turned it over 13 times. Utah, 6. And we're still tied at 35. There's the turnover story. And yet the Sonics knocked him behind.
Oh, beautiful.
Stockton misses the layup.
That was beautiful. He had 2 6'10" guys on a screener roll, and he went the opposite way, opened right up.
Kemp from McMillan, the basket counts and a foul, and once again, the pass inside working for the Sonics, and Kemp will go to the line to complete a three-point play.
It's just interesting in the NBA, when you miss a layup at one end, how quickly the team will take it down the other end and score. It's just a matter of seconds. Now this is just beautiful. They catch the defender behind Kemp in front of the basket. It's all over.
Are they not getting back?
Now you can see right here the 9 catches, the double teams in the paint. But right now, to me, George Karl always says, in transition, Shawn Kemp is our first option every single time. I just think they're looking him off, though.
Is Utah not getting back?
Well, you got to say, though, you got to give Kemp his due. I mean, Kemp is outrunning the guys that are matched up with him, but then they also release guys.
Malone with a fake on Brakowski. No resistance for Brakowski, who played Malone exceptionally well in the last game. Got beaten there, and the Sonics lead is won 38-37. Nearly 5 minutes remaining in this first half. Seattle led by 3 after 1. Detlef Schrempf posting up inside against Brian Russell. Give Brakowski the 3, he'll take it. He's 0 for 3 from downtown. Great defensive play by Russell.
You have 4 on 3 here.
Once again, Malone and Brakowski isolated down low. Pull away by the mailman, and Kemp goes high for his 4th rebound.
Look out here now.
4.5 to play. 17 on the shot clock for Seattle. 1-point lead. Good spin move inside on the baseline, and Kemp is pushed.
One thing you know about Kemp, every time that he catches the ball on that left side of the floor, you must protect against that baseline screen. Now here you have Karl. Here's the head fake, good, solid basketball. Get the defender to leave his feet and then take him strong.
Belton Spencer on the personal foul. That is his 2nd. Malone tonight, 9 points. The lead is 1 for the Sonics.
See, they can do this all night because Russell is giving Schrempf 4 inches.
Illegal defense call against the Jazz, and the Sonics will go to the line once again.
They continue to catch the player playing Perkins at the top. Now that's Spencer. If you post up Detlef Schrempf to the left of the lane, what is happening? Spencer is trying to get down in there for the double team.
Hits the first.
So you're going to see they can get this all night long. Once that ball goes down inside the Detlef Schrempf, got past the basketball. Once the ball goes down in there, you see they have a height advantage. They're sending. Now as Perkins goes high, see they're just hanging around.
Off the screen, Hersey Hawkins.
Nice pass.
With a pass to Perkins. Trying to stuff it through, and they're going to call offensive interference. Over the cylinder was Shawn Kemp. So Utah again with the ball. George Karl can't understand that call, but it was the right one.
Yeah, now this is Perkins. He miraculously gets this off. Now right there, not only on top of the thing, he grabbed onto the rim, could have got a technical.
39-37, Seattle leading Utah. And driving in with a layup is Jeff Hornacek, who is 5 of 7 for the field after shooting 39%. And
Brian Russell is all over the floor here defensively. Anytime that there is any form of transition, he's hustling and scrapping, keeping things alive.
And another stoppage of play. Hornacek shooting a lot better tonight than he has in the previous 2 games.
Well, he's going strong. Here's a hook. Could have caught him on the offense. Hawkins with a little bit of an Academy Award, but Jeff definitely hooked them and moved them back.
Hornacek scored 22 points in the last game. Has struggled from three-point territory, as you pointed out earlier in the broadcast, but tonight Hornacek has 14 points. The only 3-point basket for the Jazz comes from Brian Russell.
The strength of the Utah Jazz, Malone, Hornacek, and Stockton. All 3 shoot over 50%. In this series, we know that Malone is shooting right at 47, but Hornacek and Stockton at only 39. That's why we said at the top they must come in and shoot over 50% if they're going to have a shot tonight.
Stoppage of play was to reset the clock. Detlef Schrempf with a turnaround. Schrempf now with 7 points. Back to Antoine Carr is the only member of the first 7 of the Jazz shooting over 50% in the series. So they're all down. Payton cuts off Stockton. And Stockton misses the shot. Malone follow misses. Inside, Felton Spencer draws the foul finally for the Jazz.
See, one of the centers, whether it's Spencer, Carr, or Ostertag, they've got to be a major presence here on the offensive glass because of all the double teaming.
3 on Kemp, Hubie.
Yeah, this is they're going to come with Nate McMillan. They're not going to fall asleep tonight and have him pick up his fourth.
And you remember in the last game, Kemp came back with 5 personal fouls and ended up making the big plays, the 2 baskets and the steal to give the Sonics their win. But Kemp goes to the bench having scored 7 points and has 3 personal fouls. Felton Spencer missing the first free throw and misses them both. They're getting to the line, but they're not converting lately. And the lead is 2 for the Sonics, 3:10 to go in the first half. Perkins with a fake. Shot inside the arc. Wild shot by Sam Perkins. Here's Brian Russell.
That's one of the few times in the series that he had to move.
Spencer, no one picked him up. Felton Spencer ties the game at 41. The Jazz have not had the lead. 4 times they have had the opportunity to take the lead in this half and have failed to do so.
Screen and roll.
Nate McMillan, who replaced Kemp. Down low to Perkins. Throws it away over Payton's head.
Good double team that time with Stockton taking away the passing lane, and then also Spencer getting his hands up in there and deflecting that pass.
That's the 15th turnover, and that was Spencer's hoop.
The NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by Beechwood Aged Budweiser, official sponsor of the 1996 U.S. Olympic team. This Bud's for you. And by Hyundai. See the all-new Elantra today. It's more car.
Experience the excitement of your favorite Olympic events. Now in commemorative cans of Bud, Bud Light, and Bud Ice. Better yet, if you get one of these special gold cans, you could see the games live in Atlanta. Look for Grab the Gold details wherever you see Bud Family Olympic packages. Just another part of the Bud World Party.
Introducing more hip room, more comfort, more than Civic, Sentra, Escort, or Corolla. And oh yes, more headroom than ever. The all-new Elantra, more car. The Elantra was designed for your safety with standard dual airbags, side impact protection, and available 4-channel anti-lock brakes. The all-new Elantra, more car. And right now, the Elantra is even more affordable with $750 cash back.
Is this your idea of better TV? How about this? Or better yet, this. If you ask me, it's not the TV, but what's on it, like DirecTV. 61 movie channels, 28 music channels, 14 news and information channels, and 12 family channels. All together only on DirecTV. So you can really channel your family's interests. For the DirecTV retailer nearest you, call 1-800-DirecTV.
This is the 3rd time the Sonics and the Jazz have been matched up in the playoffs. Back in 1992 in the Western Conference semifinals, the Jazz won in 5 games. This was Game 5, 111-100. Karl Malone led the Jazz with 37 points and 13 rebounds as the Jazz went on to win 4 games to 1. And now Utah has the ball and a chance to take the lead, but Brian Russell off the bench has been tremendous tonight for Utah.
Well, he's done an excellent job. He has 7 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and he has at least 3 deflections.
Adam Keefe making his first appearance into the game for the Utah Jazz. Sonics shooting 47%, the Jazz 36%, so the shooting for the Jazz have gone dropped from 39%, and yet they have a chance to take their first lead. They've had 4 tries previously to move in front. Under 2.5 to play in the first half. Kickball and a new 24-second clock for Gary Payton. Reggie Theus.
Coach George Carlin in timeout was saying that you guys got to stay focused, and you're seeing more double teams than you've seen in the entire playoffs, so you have to keep moving the ball around.
Sage advice from Karl Malone.
Now this is
George Carlin.
Right. This is a very small lineup out here now. They're playing Keith as a
Hornacek. You're right. Hornacek hits the 3. That's the second time they've moved Hornacek to that spot, and the Jazz lead for the first time tonight, 44-41, 17 for Jeff Hornacek. He has been the big scorer in the game. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half, and now they call the offensive foul.
They're catching Shrimp on the screen, getting his leg out. Now here you're going to have into Karl. This is what we call a split. They switched, Seattle switched, but they were late getting out on Hornacek.
The foul was called against Detlef Schrempf, his second. So with under 2 minutes to go, the Jazz have their lead and the ball. Picking up on the switch was Perkins. McMillan was on Malone.
Nice.
Ryan Russell nails it from the baseline, and there's a foul. Loose ball foul has been called against Adam Keith, but the basket by Russell counts to give the Jazz a 5-point lead.
Now they take it out on the side. That time, as soon as Malone was double teamed, they came off that screener roll. They trapped Stockton. They get it right to Malone, and then Malone makes a perfect diagonal pass. Just watch this now. They take it. Here's the rotation. They go over, and they make the extra pass. Beautiful. Nice move by Brian Russell.
And he's got 9 points.
Oh, he's got a terrific energizer off the bench.
13 on the shot clock. Hersey Hawkins wins his way in. Great move by Hawkins. Horsey.
Yeah.
Spell that.
Doesn't spell that out, will you, please?
I'd rather talk about Vinny Askew, to tell you the truth. Hersey Hawkins, who is guarding Hornacek, and is doing a good job of it now.
There's that split again, and they switch.
Malone, and Hawkins gets the rebound. After Nate McMillan. Sonics pushing it up. They want to play their up-tempo style. Perkins missed the 3, and a loose ball foul against
Watch out,
Jazz.
George Karl. Watch out now. George is running down that sideline, challenging Mike Mathis.
And 3 fouls against Detlef Schrempf. So Kemp and Schrempf, the starting forwards, each with 3 personal fouls.
Yeah, right now, the one thing you do not want to do is you do not want to pick up a couple of tees here in the last minute of play. You've given up enough in this first half, as well as throwing the ball away with your turnovers. So with the technical fouls and the turnovers, you know, you're still sitting. You're only down 3 points.
Schrempf going out, having scored 7. Kemp on the bench with 3, also with 7 points. And Adam Keefe on the line. Again, coming up on the Reebok halftime report, Ernie, Sherrill, and Danny Ainge will be joined by Patrick Ewing of the Knicks. He'll preview tomorrow's Game 3 from Orlando between the Bulls and the Magic.
During the course of the year, Keefe had a great year. He was right at 7 points a game and 6 rebounds. Had a terrific year for them.
The Jazz have missed their last 5 free throws, so their lead is 3 with under a minute to go. Sonics with the ball and 17 on the shot clock.
Now this they have. Posting up of Payton on Stockton. They know they can get that, and Payton can shoot over the top.
There's Payton shooting over the top and hitting over the top. The coach.
Well, I don't understand why they went away from it, because it was good all throughout game 2.
17 for Payton. Hornacek has 17 for the Jazz. Brian Russell with a good fake on Hawkins with a great basket and a foul. Brian Russell is keeping Utah in this game with 11 off the bench.
Now, Dick, that was a hard shot. Now, he said, I am going to take this one right to the hole. We were in a perfect line with this. Now, as he goes up here right now, he takes the shot.
Askew with the personal foul, his second. And here is Brian Russell, who hits the free throw after the Jazz had missed 5 in a row. And Utah leading 49-45. And a timeout called. 20-second timeout by the Seattle Sonics.
Well, we were looking for someone from Utah to step up and help Karl Malone and Hornacek from a scoring position. We said Stockton cannot do it in this series because he's not getting enough shot attempts because they're continually trapping him 35 to 40 times, getting the ball out of his hand. But tonight, Brian Russell, off the bench, is the main guy in this half. Let's see what happens in the second half.
And let's see the contrast, the Jekyll Hyde performances of the Jazz. 6-0 at home, 1-6 on the road. And look at the disparaging numbers there.
No, the points, 19 points better at home. But then again, this is game 1 against the team that you have played 6 times this year, and you've lost 5. If the guys in green just take care of the basketball in the second half, cut back their turnovers, they're going to be in very good shape here.
The Sonics don't look like they're shaken at all by playing in Jerry Sloan's barn, the Delta Center. This is a team, remember, 4-0 on the road in the playoffs.
During the course of the year, 26-15 on the road. One of the best road records in the NBA.
One of the best 3, you're right. There's Payton working against Stockton. As you say, it's been there throughout, but he loses the ball to Hornacek. Filling the lane is Karl Malone. Here's Malone. He gets the layup. Look out. Point out. And Payton lays it in. And the basket counts as time runs out. And Gary Payton released and caught the Jazz napping. Hornacek has 17, but this crowd stunned over Payton's hoop. Jazz lead, however, 51-47 at the half.
How does a mild-mannered single mother get from here to here? Find out on June 28th. Striptease, rated R. At theaters, June 28th. The impossible is now possible. From the makers of Krylon comes the next revolution in painting. Latex enamel in a spray. A vivid array of color. The ease of a spray with low odor and easy cleanup. The beautiful, long-lasting finish of enamel. Introducing new Krylon Living Color. Latex enamel in a spray. The next revolution in painting.
Beck's, the original import. Taste German beer at its finest. Beck's, America's favorite German beer.
Sometimes there's a game on my corner, and I'm deep into my head, so it goes all like Zen-like. And check this out. I'm seeing Anderson, Robinson, Van Exel, and my man Sam Cassell playing ball when my guys play ball. And it's all about ball. And it's crazy, right? I mean, all in my head, but you think I'm crazy, right? Yo, I'm not crazy. I know what's real. I'm real. This is my planet.
The Reebok Halftime Report is brought to you by Reebok. Are you prepared to say, this is my planet?
I tell you what, if Brian Russell keeps playing like this, folks around the league will stop calling him Byron Russell. He's got 12 off the bench. Utah's got a 51-47 lead over the Seattle SuperSonics, who have a 2-0 lead in the Western Conference Final. Ernie Johnson and Cheryl Miller and Danny Ainge and the Knicks' Patrick Ewing all in Atlanta with the Reebok Halftime Report. Utah's task tonight is the same as that of the Orlando Magic in the Eastern Finals. That is, get back to your place and get back in the series. Orlando got blown out in Game 1 in Chicago by 38, then blew an 18-point lead in Game 2, begging the question, how's Orlando doing emotionally heading into Game 3?
The mentality is still good right now. I mean, we know we have a lot of pressure on us right now to win Game 3. And, you know, we just have to go out there and play hard. You know, leave everything out there on the floor and not take anything back with us.
We have to do the same thing that the Bulls have done. We have to come in here tomorrow and try and get Game 3. If we win that one, then I think a little bit of pressure goes back on the Bulls to try and get out of Orlando with a win.
If you really look at it for what it's worth, Chicago was supposed to win at home. That's why they only lost one game all season long, and we always play well at home, so I think we're supposed to win these 2 at home. As long as we go out there and just play like we did the first half of Game 2, I think we'll be okay.
Certainly, Chicago's done what they had to do, win 2 at home. A guy like Dennis Scott and Nick Anderson have not done what they're supposed to do. Those guys have combined 7 out of 30 from the field. What gives with the perimeter game?
I think it's Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan's defense. I think they ran into Ernie in Game 2, that second half.
I've never seen a defensive performance like that in the second half. They were shell-shocked. They were nervous. Nobody wanted to handle the ball. They couldn't even get into the offense to get the ball down into Shaq, who was killing them in the first half. Great defense by Chicago. It's not that Nick and Dennis are as bad as that Chicago is great.
You bring up Shaquille O'Neal, and how would you grade Chicago, the job they're doing on the big guy?
Well, I think they're doing an outstanding job. You know, they're putting a lot of fresh bodies on him. They're banging and bumping and making them work for everything. And like you said, like Danny said, their defense is making it hard on him because the other guys can't get him the ball inside.
At the same time, on the Orlando side, you lose Horace Grant.
But this crowd stunned over Peyton's hoop. Jazz lead, however, 51-47 at the half.
How does a mild-mannered single mother get from here to here? Find out on June 28th. Striptease, rated R. At Viz, June 28th. The impossible is now possible. From the makers of Krylon comes the next revolution in painting. Latex enamel in a spray. A vivid array of color. The ease of a spray with low odor and easy cleanup. The beautiful, long-lasting finish of enamel. Introducing new Krylon Living Color. Latex enamel in a spray. The next revolution in painting.
Beck's, the original import. Taste German beer at its finest. Beck's, America's favorite German beer.
Sometimes there's a game on my corner, and I'm deep into my head, so it goes all like Zen-like. And check this out. I'm seeing Anderson, Robinson, Van Exel, and my man Sam Cassell playing ball when my guys play ball. And it's all about ball. And it's crazy, right? I mean, all in my head, but you think I'm crazy, right? Yo, I'm not crazy. I know what's real. I'm real. This is my planet.
The Reebok Halftime Report is brought to you by Reebok. Are you prepared to say, this is my planet?
I tell you what, if Brian Russell keeps playing like this, folks around the league will stop calling him Byron Russell. He's got 12 off the bench. Utah's got a 51-47 lead over the Seattle SuperSonics, who have a 2-0 lead in the Western Conference Final. Ernie Johnson and Cheryl Miller and Danny Ainge and the Knicks' Patrick Ewing all in Atlanta with the Reebok Halftime Report. Utah's task tonight is the same as that of the Orlando Magic in the Eastern Finals. That is, get back to your place and get back in the series. Orlando got blown out in Game 1 in Chicago by 38, then blew an 18-point lead in Game 2, begging the question, how's Orlando doing emotionally heading into Game 3?
The mentality is still good right now. I mean, we know we have a lot of pressure on us right now to win Game 3. And, you know, we just have to go out there and play hard. You know, leave everything out there on the floor and not take anything back with us.
We have to do the same thing that the Bulls have done. We have to come in here tomorrow and try and get Game 3. If we win that one, then I think a little bit of pressure goes back on the Bulls to try and get out of Orlando with a win.
If you really look at it for what it's worth, Chicago was supposed to win at home. That's why they only lost one game all season long, and we always play well at home. So I think we're supposed to win these two at home. As long as we go out there and just play like we did the first half of Game 2, I think we'll be okay.
Certainly, Chicago's done what they had to do, win 2 at home. A guy like Dennis Scott and Nick Anderson have not done what they're supposed to do. Those guys are combined 7 out of 30 from the field. What gives with the perimeter game?
I think it's Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan's defense. I think they ran into Ernie in Game 2, that second half. I've never seen a defensive performance like that in the second half. They were shell-shocked. They were nervous. Nobody wanted to handle the ball. They couldn't even get into the offense to get the ball down into Shaq, who was killing them in the first half. Great defense by Chicago. It's not that Nick and Dennis are as bad as that Chicago is great.
You bring up Shaquille O'Neal, and how would you grade Chicago, the job they're doing on the big guy?
Well, I think they're doing an outstanding job. You know, they're putting a lot of fresh bodies on him. They're banging and bumping and making them work for everything. And like you said, like Danny said, their defense is making it hard on him because the other guys can't get him the ball inside.
At the same time, on the Orlando side, you lose Horace Grant, Patrick. And now John Koncak's got a bad knee. He is questionable for tomorrow. Where do you go if you're Orlando, and what kind of matchup problems is this creating for you?
It's going to create some problems, but, you know, whoever they play, they're going to have to step up. The rest of the guys are going to have to also step up. Nick, Dennis, everybody, the whole team they're gonna have to step up and get the job done.
Mentally, after you blow an 18-point lead, there's the chance to steal one on the other guy's court, Cheryl. Are you just talking a good game when you say, yeah, let's just, we're ready to go, we're going to play two good halves?
Watching game 2 reminded me of one of those old martial arts films where you see the guy just snatch his heart right out of his chest. But it was very hard to watch that game. But I think that they're going to try to erase and forget about game 2. They're at home. D. Scott and Nick Anderson have to get it going offensively and get the ball into Shaquille's hands.
The old martial arts film. Game 3 is tomorrow on NBC. When we come back, what's the Chicago approach on a trip to Disney World? You're going to hear from his airness on the eve of Game 3. Keep it here. We'll be back.
You can just pick up a Napa part, feel the quality. When you look at the price, it feels even better.
Pick up your share of quality products at Napa's Red, White, and Blue sale. With Napa motor oil, only 89 cents a quart. Contoured-style bug shields for a low $29.99. And a combo pack of no-touch tire and wheel cleaners, just $2.99 after rebate. So come, save some green at Napa's Red, White, and Blue sale.
America running.
那生意怎么了？
唉，不太妙，市场部老是收不到工程部的最新数据。
你需要 Lotus Notes 在网络上自动复制更新的数据，这样每个人都可以随时得到最新的信息，甚至是环球网上。
这样就能知己知彼，百战百胜。
一点儿也没错。
The future just keeps coming at you. I think about kids today, those video games they play. Every year, a new generation, more advanced. Well, this is the next generation of power. Renewal from Railback. They're alkaline, like regular batteries, but more advanced. You can renew them, reuse them, instead of just throwing them out. They don't just come back, they come back strong. Play it smart. Railback Renewal.
Goodyear revolutionized wet traction design with AquaTread. Now, Goodyear introduces InfiniTread, the first tire with a lifetime tread life warranty. The new all-season InfiniTread. Its tread is guaranteed for as long as you own your car. Call 1-800-GOODYEAR.
When I get a headache, I just want it gone. But not with Tylenol. On tough pain, 2 Advil work better than any 2 Tylenol. Nothing is proven to work better or last longer than Advil. Nothing.
Advanced medicine for pain.
After 24 minutes, it's a 4-point game. 51-47, Utah with the lead over Seattle as the Reebok halftime report rolls on. Patrick Ewing's Knicks are the only team to beat the Chicago Bulls in the postseason. That was Game 3 of the Eastern semis at the Garden. Now Michael Jordan and his buddies hit the road for just the 4th time in the playoffs. A trip to the O-Arena, where the Bulls were one of just 4 visiting teams to win this season. And if they follow Michael's lead, they will go in with confidence.
I think people have always known me to be more excited playing on the road in difficult situations. Sure, it's great to be at home, and the fans have really supported us, but I think, we know in the playoffs, you got to win on the road. That's when the things are all stacked against you. But we're going down to a place that a team hadn't really lost that many games there. It's 76-6 down there. So we know it's a tough task, but I think that's the beauty of it all. And, hopefully everyone has the same mentality that I have about trying to succeed on the road and succeed in general.
Patrick, I know you'd rather be preparing for Game 3 of an Eastern Conference Final Series than sitting here tonight. But what is it about that Chicago team, and do you see it in their eyes when you're up against them?
Oh, definitely. You mainly see it in Michael's eyes. I mean, he's the leader on the team, and everybody else follows. And he has that intensity and the look, and he's just ready to rock and roll.
I think, Dennis Rodman, I think, has been ready to rock and roll and score, surprisingly. Double-digit average in this series. How surprising is this, or is this just a hidden talent that the Worm is displaying now?
Well, I keep reading in Chicago, that Dennis is this great offensive player. Dennis is a smart basketball player, and he knows. But right now, he's not even being guarded. Shaq comes over to try to block shots, and there's Dennis wide open to get the offensive rebound. If Shaq doesn't get the blocks, Dennis gets the easy tips. And Shaq, when he catches the ball in the post, Dennis against Shaq backs off under the paint, gives him 8-foot shots. Dennis has been making them, though.
How about the situation with Tony Kukoc as one 3-point shooter to another? Here's a guy who's 1 for 29 and has missed 24 in a row from out there. Not that you can relate to that at all, Danny. But when do you stop shooting?
Oh, you don't stop shooting. That line is not there for decoration. You use it, and you don't just quit shooting until the coach takes you out. The coach will tell you to quit shooting.
Step in a little bit, find your range a little bit, then start stroking the jumper.
No, Tony needs to go to the hole a little bit, but come on, he had 10 assists in the last game he played, and he's playing well.
You can't take away what he's done, but I'm just saying until he starts knocking down from the three-point arc, you got to step in, knock down a little bit.
No,
just keep shooting.
Shooter, you got to keep
shooting them, and when he might make 10 in a row.
Got to keep shooting it.
Dennis Rodman can get out there and start knocking down threes. That's what's going to happen in Game 3.
Who would have thought that the Reebok halftime report would turn into Tony Kukoc then and now? But back to wrap things up in just a minute. Seattle trailing Utah 51-47. Utah trying to get back in this thing, down 2-0. There's a mailman going to work.
How to achieve success.
For me, it's the details. In golf, that means taking it one stroke at a time. And at Jiffy Lube, we do it one car at a time. And we offer the quality of Pennzoil. So even though we've serviced almost 100 million cars, the one that matters most is the one we're working on now.
If it doesn't say Jiffy Lube, it just isn't Jiffy Lube.
The original import. Taste German beer at its finest. Beck's, America's favorite German beer.
No matter what kind of call your business makes, AT&T stands behind it. This is the most powerful communications network in the world. And if your call ever runs into trouble, the network sends you around it. Or if a cable gets cut, it won't affect you. No other network handles so much business, and no other network guarantees all of it. Only AT&T stands behind every kind of call your business makes. Where does your phone company stand? AT&T, for the life of your business.
At AutoZone, most of our customers are folks who like to work on their cars themselves. But the ones who come in most often are those who work on cars for a living. Guys like Ed Graven. Now, Ed's garage is in Ogden, Utah, where most of the time you'll find him pulling an engine or sliding under a car. And just about every day, he drives past a half dozen other parts stores on his way to AutoZone. Because Ed knows that when it comes to getting the right part for the right price, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Goodyear revolutionized wet traction design with AquaTread. Now, Goodyear introduces InfiniTread, the first tire with a lifetime tread life warranty. The new all-season InfiniTread. Its tread is guaranteed for as long as you own your car. Call 1-800-GOODYEAR.
What if I told you everything you know about TV is about to change? Because now, there's DirecTV, totally digital television. More movies, more sports, more of what I want than ever before. All through a tiny satellite dish about the size of a small pen. Steve, how does DirecTV work? I have no idea, but it does. For the DirecTV retailer nearest you, call 1-800-DirecTV.
I don't know about you, but one of the most memorable moments of Game 2 in the Orlando-Chicago series came with about 10 seconds to go. Danny Ainge and Vern Lundquist at the mic. Give a listen.
I was talking to Nancy Lieberman before the game tonight, Vern, and I think she's the best woman basketball player of all time.
Now, you're stirring up a hornet's nest. You know that.
I'm just trying to ruffle Cheryl's feathers back in Atlanta. There's no question. I did forget to mention Cheryl swooped that in. She might be the best basketball player of all time. Nancy Lieberman and Cheryl Swoop.
Anyway, have you bet anybody today?
I saw Tree in Orlando and Chicago, and Horace told me he was going to sick Tree on me.
Ladies and gentlemen, that has been the Reebok halftime report. You've been busted. Thanks a lot, Patrick Ewing, for being here. Danny, Cheryl. Remember, Inside the NBA later tonight, gang. We'll see you.
The Reebok Halftime Report has been brought to you by Reebok. Are you prepared to say, this is my planet?
You and I have a lot in common. We're a lot alike. We're the same, you and me. I look at you, I see myself.
Pay too much for auto supplies and you'll feel like one too. Pep Boys has great prices. Class 1 trailer hitches from $29.99 or clamshell top carriers $79.99 each. Installation available. 26,000 items at the guaranteed low price. Tires and service too. Pep Boys. Everything but gas.
The critics are blown away. A one-of-a-kind experience.
Like Jaws and Jurassic Park. Truly amazing.
You guys should get out of there! Run! It's gonna drop right on us!
You have never seen anything like it before.
Find something to grab a hold of!
Twister. Rated PG-13.
Can you help me now?
It's more than pain. Injury costs in many ways. Loss of livelihood, pride, independence.
We're here, we can, we will.
Put your life back together. Call the attorneys of Rudder and Montagna. Experienced, dedicated, making the law work for you.
Yes, we will.
Rudder and Montagna. Legal power.
We're overstocked with $2 million worth of new Volvos, and they've got to go. So Copeland Volvo is rolling back the prices. $96,960. Take $5,800 off. Now just $29,995. $96,850 sedans. Take off $3,500. Now just $24,995. $96,850 wagons. Take off $3,200. Now just $25,995. Copeland Toyota at 2301 West Mercury Boulevard, Hampton.
Welcome back to the Delta Center, where the Sonics and Jazz Game 3 of the Western Finals. Seattle leading 2-0. And at halftime, the Jazz lead the Sonics by a score of 51-47. Right now, let's send it over to Reggie Theus.
All right, Coach, you're down 4 points. Could you just assess the first half for me?
Elated. 16 turnovers, give up 21 free throws, down 4. I thought we played a great first quarter, bad second quarter from a standpoint of our standpoint. We can play much better defense. There's a lot of good stuff out there. Hornacek's having a great night. I think we'll tighten it down on him a little bit. And hopefully we'll get to the fourth quarter game, see what happens.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half.
And he's right. I mean, look at what's happened. I mean, Kemp and Schrempf are in foul trouble. Kemp has 7 points. Things are not going their way in so many areas, and yet in the game. Huh?
No, the defense has been solid. You say 17 turnovers, add 4 technicals. Your bench is only 2 for 12, and you're only 4 down. Hey, you're in excellent shape.
It's like the third game in the Houston series when they were in the hunt and they made the most of it. Sonics shooting 50%, the Jazz at 41, even though they're getting more opportunities.
Yeah, and that's all coming off the turnovers. But then the foul line, the Jazz missed 8 foul shots in that first half. That's major.
And the matchup that we have been charting, Gary Payton and John Stockton. Payton with a sensational first half. What else is new about Gary Payton in this series? But Stockton struggling.
Yes, he is. And you can see with only the 3 field goal attempts, the fact that he is not getting any looks, not even in transition.
The big guy, Shawn Kemp, 3 personal fouls. That's the big one. And Karl Malone.
Yeah, Karl Malone is having a tough night shooting. He's only 5 for 14 from the field. He's just got to take his time and get within the flow here. He forced too many in that first half.
So Payton, along with Hawkins up front, Schrempf, Kemp, and Irvin Johnson. And Kemp from the baseline, and it's tipped in by Irvin Johnson. Johnson also has 3 personal fouls, now with 4 points, and it's a 2-point Utah lead.
I tell you, this young fella is really a presence because he's a shot blocker. He makes himself available on the offensive glass. You must pay attention to him.
3-second violation. It was 7 years ago that Irvin Johnson out of the University of New Orleans was packing groceries at a supermarket in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Has he come far?
Well, he's never played high school basketball, so you can see we have all types of guys in the NBA. You got to give him a tremendous amount of credit, and also the coaching staff at New Orleans during that period of time did an excellent job with him.
They got to the NCAA tournament at the Hoosier Dome one year. Here's Kemp again working against Felton Spencer, or this is Irvin Johnson. And Schrempf for 3, nailed it. Detlef Schrempf, his second from downtown.
Are they on fire? They're 6 for 15 in this game, and it's always there for them. And we tell you, everybody keeps talking. Perkins in the 3s, Payton in the 3s. Oh, that was beautiful.
Stockton inside, but you're right about the Sonics from 3-point territory. They regained the lead momentarily, but now the Jazz are up again by 1.
Well, that's their famous shuffle cut by Stockton. You must pay attention because they'll deliver the pass.
That was his first basket of the game, surprisingly. Here is Schrempf working against Chris Morris.
Shrimp with a fall away. High arcing shot, and Shrimp can do no wrong from the field. He has 12 points and 5 of the Sonics points here to start the third quarter.
It's such an advantage when your small forward can post up and then even draw the double teams.
Malone finds Hornacek, and Hornacek in and out. Last touch by the Sonics, so it is still Utah ball, and Hornacek wondering why that didn't go through.
Now just watch. Now this is a spin move. He sees the double team coming, spins to the baseline, shoots it in your face.
Brian Russell is coming in the game replacing Chris Morris, so Jerry Sloan's going with the hot hand off the bench at the small forward position.
Oh, beautiful. Hey, that was a nice save that time on that loose ball by Hornacek.
2 minutes gone by. Here is Hornacek. A three for Hornacek, his second from downtown. And Jeff Hornacek has 20 points already in the game.
Hawkins and Shrimp became confused who had him. Shrimp ran at him too late.
Payton working against Stockton. Staying with him, and the screen by Kemp and Gary Payton now with 21 points. So a duel between Hornacek, the shooting guard on Utah, and the point guard on the Sonics, Payton.
Every time they run that screen and roll, Stockton goes underneath, and they catch him.
Tipped by Payton, but it comes out to Stockton wide open. And Malone, the Jazz are rushing their shots tonight.
Well, the angle, that's a very bad angle to try to switch the shot. You're better off playing a rebound.
Irvin Johnson on the other end gets a basket after the Jazz had 4 chances at their end.
Yeah, you know, anytime that you get that weird angle there, that's a hard shot. You're like 3 to 6 feet away, and you try to swish it, bank the shot.
Sonics by 2 inside, and a great conversion by Karl Malone, who has 13 points. We're tied at 58. Shrimp now working against Russell. An illegal defense against the Jazz. John Stockton, who was the guilty party, and another technical foul.
Well, once you make a commitment to go down on a man with the basketball in the post, you must trap him. John went 3/4 of the way, faked, and then came back. His man was above the three-point line, so that is a zone call. Excellent interpretation that time by the referees.
Herthie Hawkins converts. That was the 3rd technical on the Jazz for illegal defense violations. So the Sonics lead by 1, and Payton will inbound. Payton with 21 points. Has Kemp down low. Not much from Kemp tonight. Knocked away. Malone might have knocked it out of his hand. He lost the control. Hornacek beating Russell. Acrobatic basket, and we've seen several of them from Brian Russell tonight.
He's just been Mr. Excitement tonight for Utah. Now, I know Jeff Hornacek, he's covered every single stat tonight. Not only the points, but the 5 rebounds, and also he has 4 steals in this game.
And a hooking foul. Let's see if it's Kemp, and if it's Shawn Kemp, that'll be 4. It is. Shawn Kemp picks up his 4th foul with less than 4 minutes going by here in the 3rd.
Now, they've got to get him out right now. They're bringing Sam Perkins. Now, you'll see when he goes down inside, keep an eye on the arm. There's the hook right there, and he catches him right on the hip. And the referee from this side of the floor had the perfect call.
So for the 2nd straight game, Shawn Kemp is in foul trouble. Perkins replaces him. Kemp, remember, the hero of the finish, playing with 5 fouls in Game 2 in Seattle.
They catch Spencer down inside.
Here's the Sonic foul situation. Kemp with 4, Shrimp and Irvin Johnson with 3. Spencer picking up his foul, and that was a 3-second violation, so no personal on Spencer.
There was no reason for him to be in the 3-second lane. He was out of the action completely.
Payton trying to post up. And here is Brian Russell with a great play against Shrimp.
Send it. Yes.
He anticipated deadlift Shrimp perfectly on that play.
I tell you, he's doing so many intangibles, Dick. All the intangibles.
20 turnovers by the Sonics. Payton comes back with a turnaround, and Karl Malone the rebound. That's his 8th rebound of the game. The Jazz lead by 3. And a foul called against Gary Payton, who has picked up his 2nd personal foul.
Now, right here, they're trying to post up Peyton. See, Russell gets a hand on it. Then he out-quicks. But keep a eye on the left. You're seeing now Johnson's trying to measure it, but he decided not to go for the foul.
Johnson playing with 3. Stockton way off the mark on that jump attempt. 1 for 6 from the field for John Stockton. 50% shooter, as you mentioned during the year, well under 40 in the playoffs or in the series. Knocked away, last touched by the Jazz.
It seems like Utah is winning by 15. And you look up and you say, oops, only by 3. As poorly as Seattle is playing. All the guys in foul trouble. All the technical fouls. All the turnovers. You're down 3.
That does not bode well for Utah. Perkins. This is from downtown and the rebound by Karl Malone.
Say, Jeff Hornacek is playing a great game.
Although he tried to lead Stockton there and threw it away.
But Stockton got bumped, and he lost his balance, and that's the reason why he could not get to that pass.
You mentioned Hornacek, 20 points, 6 off the glass, and 6 assists.
The NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by GMC, putting you comfortably in command. And by Dutch Boy Paints. Give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
All over the world. Turns out we're part of the biggest event during the summer games. The beer run. The Bud World Party continues. Round the clock, around the world.
With Sierra's strength and exceptional power, life's daily obstacles are easily handled. But with Sierra's third door, you will have one less hurdle to overcome. Sierra by GMC. Putting you comfortably in command.
STP Son of a Gun Protectant makes vinyl truly shine. Leather more lustrous. And rubber more brilliant and beautiful. It works so well, in fact, some people even use it on cars. Son of a Gun Protectant, and also Son of a Gun Citrus Cleaner by STP.
With a score, the Utah Jazz 62 and the Seattle Sonics 59. Right now, let's take a look at tonight's GMC scoreboard. And, of course, tomorrow, the Chicago Bulls in Orlando leading 2-0, 3:30 Eastern time on NBC. And, of course, this is our last broadcast of the year on Turner Sports. It's been a tremendous NBA season. There is Commissioner David Stern sitting next to the president of Turner Sports, Harvey Schiller. And it has been great. We want to right now thank the people who have worked at Turner Sports behind the scenes, behind the cameras, in front of the cameras for their terrific efforts this season. And we still have a lot of action left in this game with the Jazz leading by 3 and the Sonics with the ball. Peyton looking to Schrempf posting up against Brian Russell. Perkins was open for 3. Carr the rebound. So Antoine Carr checks into the game for the Utah Jazz. Malone guarded by Irvin Johnson, who has 3 fouls. Short with that. Good defense, good bodying by Irvin Johnson.
Yeah, he's short on every shot in this quarter.
Peyton fires up a 3. And Malone comes out of the sky and helps up Brian Russell. 10 rebounds for the mailman.
What a look at Brian Russell. How about the fact that he was up on top of Karl Malone?
Under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. A 3-point lead. The Jazz lead 62-59. Stockton reaches in and a foul. Called for the shot.
Well, right now, Jeff Hornacek is running all over the place, and that was the difficult cover for Hawkins. Keep an eye on this right now. You can see it, Brian Russell, the big fella, just said, you know, I'm going for all the boards right now. And he just cleared poor Brian Russell right out of there.
Hersey Hawkins with the foul. There's the mailman who has scored 13 points and 10 rebounds, a double-double already. Tipped away. Detlef Schrempf with a fine defensive play for the Sonics. Crowd is quiet right now, even though the Jazz have a 3-point lead. It's almost a foreboding feeling by the crowd here at the Delta Center as the Jazz are called for an illegal defense. That is the 4th. And a technical foul again, and Hawkins will shoot it. Howard Isley replaces John Stockton, and as Jerry Sloan said, let's face it, he's not 19 years old anymore. And it's a 2-point game. That is the 5th illegal defense violation, the 4th technical in the game. So the Sonics very quiet here, and the crowd again, team is leading by 2. 62-60. Payton finding Hawkins. And a 3-second violation call against the Seattle Sonics.
It's just interesting how guys who are not even involved in the play are getting caught for 3 seconds. That time we had Perkins and Johnson both in the 3-second gun, and they were trying to post up a guy on the other side of the floor.
21 turnovers by the Sonics. We've been in this building about 8 or 9 times, I think, during the playoffs regular season. I've never heard this normally enthusiastic crowd so quiet in a close game. Hornacek driving the hoop against the double team, draws the foul. And it's on Irvin Johnson, and that'll be his 4th. So Johnson and Kemp each with 4.
Hornacek has taken it right into the face of the defense time and time again. If there is a split opening, he's going right inside. Now you can see right there, they catch Johnson moving that time. But Jeff is right in there. The threat of the shot blocked, not bothering his concentration.
And nearly impeccable from the free throw line. Hornacek 5 for 5 and 16 of 17 in this series from the free throw line. He's got 21 points. Where would the Jazz be, Hubie, without Hornacek and Brian Russell tonight?
Oh, absolutely. Major thing, you know, Jeff during the course of the year was 2nd in the league on the foul line at 89%. I like his energy tonight. Tonight he's just laying it all on the line. There'll be nothing left in him tonight.
Detlef Schrempf off the glass. Irvin Johnson playing with 4 fouls. Misses the layup. Antoine Carr had the rebound. Here's Isley. He was pretty sharp when he came in for Stockton early on in the game. And now an illegal defense called against the Sonics. Technical foul.
See, once again, they catch Johnson down inside. Why? Because he was trying to pick up the cutter who was coming from the other side of the floor.
Mentioned before that George Karl has the luxury with Irvin Johnson, who doesn't play all that many minutes because he knows he has Perkins to play him with 4.
Now keep an eye right at the top, right at the foul line in the middle of the floor. As soon as the cutter starts, you'll see him go down inside to pick up the screen. Well, the cutter, you're not allowed to do that. Can't double team a cutter.
Jazz by 5. Their biggest lead is 6, but an offensive foul against Howard Isley.
Isley is stunned. Nate McMillan got popped, and Isley just didn't think that it was his foul. He thought that the contact all happened underneath the basket.
Perkins is in there along with Irvin Johnson. And Detlef Schrempf, Kemp on the bench with 4 fouls. We're having video problems, so we'll keep you apprised verbally here until we can work out the picture problem. Here is Payton with a turnaround from the baseline. Misses the rebound by Malone into the hands of Hornacek. Sonics back defensively.
Hornacek did a nice job on Payton that time defensively.
All right, here's Malone. Low post out to Hornacek. Guarded by McMillan. 10 on the shot clock. And from the left side, Malone misses. He is struggling from the field. Outlet from Perkins to Payton, and Schrempf foul going to the hoop, and he'll shoot 2.
Right now, this building, the people are sitting on their hands, and there is no cry from the stands because the main man is struggling.
Karl Malone cannot throw the ball in the ocean. He is 6 for 19, and he's getting good looks at the basket this quarter.
And the other guy, John Stockton, struggling even more, and on the bench. Shrimp's first free throw is good. And the score now, the Jazz 65, the Sonics 61. Shrimp at the line for another free throw. He has 13 points. 3 players in double figures for the Sonics, led by Payton with 21. Shrimp misses the free throw. The rebound by Malone. 4-point lead for the Jazz as Isley brings it up for Utah. I was trying to get the pictures worked out to give you the verbal play-by-play, but Yubi will get his shot.
Back screen to set up Karl Malone. Down inside into power. Looping it into Malone inside, and a foul. Good pass from Isley to Malone with Sam Perkins fronting it. Anytime that you front Malone, Malone is just moving him up the line a little bit. The lob pass is being made because the passer is not being contested. If you're going to front Malone, you have to jam the passer.
And we're glad to have our pictures back. Thank you for your indulgence. And here is Malone shooting 2. The foul was on Askew, his second. Malone is 1 for 2 tonight from the line. And now it's saying that we're still getting some video breakup. So we'll go back to plan B, Hugh. Malone. Like the crowd feels for Malone and Stockton, who they have been riding their coattails for so many years, huh?
Well, you have to look at this and say this is the 4th best foul shooting team in the league at 77%. They can't make a foul shot. They've missed 10 in this game.
Malone makes 1 out of 2. It's 66-61 Jazz. McMillan on the outside being harassed by Isley. Goes to the right side to Gary Payton. To the top to Shrimp. Fakes. And Shrimp is pushed by Antoine Carr. That is the second personal foul, second team foul by the Jazz, and the third on Carr.
Deadlift Shrimp always a threat to take you off the dribble. That is a tough matchup for Antoine Carr at the top of the circle.
Isley all over McMillan at the top. Payton looking low on the left side to Perkins. Goes up and has the ball deflected away by Carr into the hands of Isley. Utah with a 5-point lead. Isley on the right side defended by Payton. Here's Brian Russell for 3 in the corner. Short, and the rebound kept alive by Malone. But they rule that his foot was on the line, and it'll turn it over to Seattle. Timeout under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Utah 66, Seattle 61.
The Reverend Billy Graham on Larry King Live Saturday.
With Sierra's strength and exceptional power, life's daily obstacles are easily handled. But with Sierra's third door, you will have one less hurdle to overcome. Sierra by GMC, putting you comfortably in command.
You could travel the world for fine gifts like these. English china, timeless Italian-Swiss craftsmanship, exquisite Spanish porcelain. Rather, it's all here at Goodman & Sons Jewelers Gift Gallery. And if it's a wedding, Goodman & Sons Bridal Registry helps you make the giving perfect. You won't find gifts of this quality just anywhere. You find them at Goodman & Sons Jewelers, Riverdale Plaza Shopping Center, Hampton.
Last month alone, 7,000 more people in Virginia got on the GTE Super System. Who's next?
Back here at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, having video problems. We understand there was a big storm in Atlanta, and that is why our picture has gone out. So we'll give you the audio portion of the game, and it's 66-61 Utah with 2:53 to go in the third.
Once again, Seattle is in a funk. For about the last 5 minutes, their offense has stalled completely. Nothing is coming easy.
They missed their last 7 shots. Gary Payton working against Hornacek, goes across to Perkins in three-point territory, 10 in the shot clock. Now the left side go down low to Schrempf, guarded by Russell. Double team, leaving Askew open, feeds to Schrempf, blocked out of bounds by Karl Malone. With 2 seconds on the shot clock, the Sonics still have the ball.
Great pass by Askew and a sensational block. Only 2 seconds on the clock.
Here's Schrempf with a fake and misses from the left corner. Rebound by Malone, who has 3 blocks and 13 rebounds. The Jazz by 5.
Malone might be struggling offensively, but he's boarding.
Isley, point guard on the right side, looking inside. The pass from Hornacek down low to Malone on the right side. Turnaround over Perkins, and Malone hits. He's been struggling from the field, but Malone now with a basket, and the Jazz have opened up their biggest lead of 7 points. 68-61 Utah. Askew nails a 2-point shot just inside the 3-point arc on the right side.
I am surprised because Brian Russell just walked away from him and gave him
the pick on the outside. Switch by Schrempf, pass inside the car. Malone with 6, shooting over Askew and hits 2 straight by Karl Malone. He's getting hot. He has 18 points, and it's 70-63 Utah.
That was a beautiful pass by Isley, and then a nice play by Carr.
Schrempf pass inside, knocked away by Isley into the hands of Malone. Great defense by the Jazz on the pass inside the post.
Seattle's got to be careful here.
Hornacek outside, hits. A 2-point basket for Hornacek off the screen to make the score 72-63 in favor of the Utah Jazz with 1:11 remaining in the third. Hornacek now with 25 points. And we'll be right back to Salt Lake City.
Perhaps even more impressive than pure, unbridled power is the ability to harness it. Sierra by GMC, putting you comfortably in command.
Barely, you gonna try something new tonight like trying to coach?
When it came time to pick a coach, he picked the biggest mouth in town. Eddie. Oh, now, she's moving and grooving.
You are not a coach. You're not a player looking like a little roach.
And they're slamming and jamming. Whoopi Goldberg.
You don't want to hustle. You don't want to do anything.
Eddie. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, May 31st at a theater near you.
When I was just a little boy, I asked my mother, what should I be? Shall I be handsome? Shall I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera.
Just because your dreams have been crushed doesn't mean your boys have to be. 100% cotton, cut for comfort. Fruit of the Loom. Really, really comfortable underwear.
We still don't have the picture at this point. 72-63. A big storm in Atlanta has knocked some things out of commission right now. But Hubie, what do you feel about the Sonics and how cold they've gone and how their game is totally stalled here?
Well, you know, it's kind of interesting because they have no fluid movement. They've just come to a standstill, and what is happening is that they're getting bad percentage shots, and then also Utah has been able to disrupt them and hold them to only 1 shot.
1:02 to go in the third, 14 on the shot clock, and McMillan driving on the left side against Isley goes in and draws the foul. Nate McMillan is fouled, and right now let's check in with Reggie Theus.
Well, Dick, Coach Karl down here at the huddle said that the team has lost their aggressiveness on both ends of the floor. They got to pull their heads out and get themselves back in this game. We got a lot of basketball to play. Guys?
Well, what I liked about it was, Reggie, they came right out of that timeout and ran a play with a lot of movement, and then they end up with a good result, 2 foul shots.
But McMillan misses the front end of the free throw, and Shawn Kemp, who went out with his 4th personal foul, has come back in. So according to George Karl, he needs him right now with the Jazz leading by 9. and McMillan misses both free throws. Kemp sat for 7 minutes, and the Sonics were outscored by 8 points during that time. So under a minute to go, 48 seconds, and Isley controlling on the outside. 9-point lead for the Jazz. Isley driving on the right side baseline, facing Perkins, and bounces it in low to Malone. Malone working against Kemp, turnaround, short, and here is McMillan. McMillan into the forecourt down on the right side, finds Askew low on the left block. Askew driving against Malone. Out to McMillan, down low to Payton. And illegal defense called against the Jazz. Another illegal defense call. That's the 6th violation against Utah.
Yeah, they had Antoine Carr. Perkins was outside of the three-point area, and Antoine Carr was below the foul line in the paint. That was a no-brainer. That was an easy one to call.
So shooting the technical will be Sam Perkins. And he misses. Wow, delighted with that. 21.7 seconds remaining in the third. The Jazz leading 72-63. Video problems. Storm in Atlanta knocked out our picture.
Two of the best foul shooting teams in the league. Utah 4th, Seattle 7th. Neither team can make a foul shot.
9-point lead, and running out the clock with 10 seconds, now under 10 seconds. Payton at the point against Hornacek, goes around Hornacek, leaves it in the corner for McMillan, blocked out of bounds by Brian Russell with 3.5 seconds on the clock, and the crowd loves Brian Russell's tremendous performance tonight. Acrobatic, high wire.
Absolutely. Defensively, he's been spectacular.
Here is Perkins on the outside, feeding Payton, who lays it up with 1/10 of a second to go. So once again, the Seattle Sonics get a last-second basket.
Never double team up when your man is going for a layup. You stay with the man closest to the rim and allow someone else to pick up the man in the lane.
72-65 Jazz after 3.
When I took the high endurance challenge from Old Spice, I really thought it was going to be a challenge. I mean, this is a challenge. This is a sure thing. It evaporates less quickly. It also lasts longer, protects better. Old Spice guarantees it. If you don't think it's the best, you call 1-800-PROVE-IT and they'll buy you a stick of your old deodorant. So if you're looking for a real challenge, go climb a mountain. If you're looking for the best deodorant, try high endurance from Old Spice. Because now you got proof. Guaranteed.
It's tough to describe a headache. You just want it gone. But not with aspirin. Advil's a lot gentler to my stomach. There's Tylenol, but 2 Advil work better on tough headache pain. There is Excedrin, but that's aspirin, and the ingredient Tylenol, and caffeine. I don't want all that. I'll go with Advil.
Advil contains the #1 doctor-prescribed pain reliever in its class.
Nothing is proven to work better or last longer than Advil. Nothing.
Advanced medicine for pain.
Hyperkeratosis? Symptom: persistent, itchy, flaky scalp. Solution: Neutrogena T-Gel. It works. Neutrogena T-Gel Shampoo. Recommended #1 by dermatologists.
I don't know, but it's been said, athlete's foot's as good as dead. Mighty Mike. No tooling action. Stop the itch and cool the burn. Penetrates to kill the germ. Athlete's foot, don't let it win. Stamp it out with Micah 10.
那生意怎么了？
嗨，不太妙。市场部老是收不到工程部的最新数据。
你们需要 Lotus Notes 在网络上自动复制更新的数据，这样每个人都可以随时得到最新的信息，甚至是环球网上。
这样就能知己知彼，百战百胜。
一点儿也没错。
In South Dallas, a lot of folks like to work on their cars, and a lot of them come to AutoZone. They save money on top-quality parts, and they find helpful people, like Rocky Brown. Oh, sure, there are other parts stores in town, but Rocky's the kind of guy folks go out of their way to see. He's good at solving problems, and he really knows his parts. You see, when it comes to getting the right part, the right price, and good advice, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Back at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Dick Stockton, Hubie Brown, Reggie Theus. still having video problems. The Jazz lead the Sonics 72-65 going into the fourth quarter. Hornacek with 25, leading Utah. Payton with 23, tops Seattle.
Utah shooting 42%. Seattle 45, three-point shooting. Seattle 6 for 18. Utah 3 for 11.
And we have our picture back. John Stockton leaves it out for Carr. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Carr going strong to the hoop. Malone open and hits. Karl Malone starting to find the range, has 20 points. And again, a 9-point lead for Utah.
That's the second pretty pass in the last 5 minutes in the lane by Antoine Carr.
If you need 3 scores to carry you in the playoffs, the Utah Jazz have the 3 tonight. And throwing the ball away on a drive was Hersey Hawkins. Malone with 20, Hornacek 25, and Brian Russell off the bench with 16. And now John Stockton with a layup.
It's a good timeout right now for Seattle. That was their 23rd turnover that has resulted in Utah 25 points.
That is staggering indeed. And the biggest lead of the game right now for the Utah Jazz, who are trying to get back in this Western Final.
Another rung on the ladder to success. You've got drive, brains, a new toilet brush, and it's your birthday.
Here you go, buddy. A birthday brew.
Don't be surprised by bitter beer. Drink Keystone, America's least bitter beer, so there's never a bad taste, never a bitter face.
Now I've got a little surprise for you.
Stop making faces. Drink Keystone.
It seems ironic that trucks so diligently engineered to be quiet would have so much volume. Dodge Ram and Dodge Ram Club Cab, the roomiest pickups on the road. The rules have changed.
Nice shot. I've been a ball boy for the Sonics for 5 years. You want to bounce back? I have a job to do just like everyone else. You got to be on top of things all game. As players check in, I pick up their stuff and fold it up. As they come out, put jackets over their heads. Once you're sitting this close, I mean, it's totally different than sitting in the stand. You're right there. It's quite a rush. Just being with the players this close, it's a pretty sweet gig. This has got to be the best job.
Here's tonight's Dutch boy in the paint. Karl Malone outscoring Shawn Kemp 20-7. Kemp in foul trouble. Malone having a big game with 15 rebounds as well.
Yeah, the key, though, but look at the shot attempts. 4 for Kemp and 23 for Malone. The rebounding, though, give Utah major credit. Karl has been all over the glass.
They've come up big in this game. Remember, 6-0 in the playoffs at home here at the Delta Center. Here's Kemp working against Malone. Double team with Spencer. Back down low to Kemp. There's the slap away. That's what he does.
Yeah, see, Kemp wanted to bump. You have to look at this and say, can Seattle win tonight in this building without establishing an inside game? Well, they don't have an inside game, but they also have 23 turnovers.
Payton goes flying and a foul called. Sonics at 44%. Jazz also at 44%, but Seattle in the second half shooting only 35% from the field. John Stockton, his first foul.
Right now there's Gary Payton, very quiet in the second half, and also Shawn Kemp. Nice move.
And traveling call against Kemp, trying to go baseline against Karl Malone. That's the 23rd turnover against Seattle.
He just loves that baseline spin move. Karl Malone gets away with a bump and knocked him off balance.
Turnover story, and it is not pretty at all for the Sonics, who trailing by 11 right now. The Jazz trying to put it away. And Malone foul going to the hoop. Crowd loving the passing, and that'll be 5 personal fouls on Shawn Kemp.
Now that was a major attack. Just watch this. You know he's going strong here. Kemp went for the block, got a piece of it, but then caught him, raked him across the arms.
instincts for Kemp, but do you go for the ball when Malone is really heading for the hoop that way?
Well, you know, you got to look at it and just say, do we give it up, or do we make him go to the foul line? Unfortunately, we have 10 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Now, this is kind of interesting because in game 2 at home, they put Kemp back into the game with 5 fouls. Here, with 10 minutes and 30 seconds to go, they take him out. Interesting.
Malone with 21 points, 15 off the board, and now 3 of 5 from the free throw line. This is a Utah team that blew out the San Antonio Spurs in their victories over San Antonio, winning in 6 games. Malone gives the Jazz a 13-point lead.
We gave an interesting stat. Against Portland and San Antonio, in this building, they have a difference of 19 points from home games and road. And it's just incredible what's happening here right now.
Kemp has it blocked inside. They had both Russell and Carr. It was a good pass by Askew, but the Jazz recovered defensively.
Plenty of time.
15 on the clock.
Plenty of time.
Here's Malone again. And Trent gets hit in the face and goes down.
Yeah.
Japanese calls the foul. Loose ball foul.
Yeah, backhand slap by Karl Malone. He's very upset that he missed the layup. And then as that ball came off loose and his Shrimp picks it up. Now see, there's your lob pass. He lays it up easy. Now just watch as you continue. He catch right there. Caught him with a backhand slap.
Second on Malone. 78-65. Payton with those 19 points in the first half has only 4 points in the second half. Stockton with his second personal foul. So Payton has disappeared along with many of the other Sonics.
Well, the thing is, though, Gary Payton has not been in any type of a situation that would give him a good look at the basket.
Double team there. Shrimp against Russell. Off the glass. Good bank by Detlef Shrimp, who has 15. That was the first point scored by the Sonics, and it came with 2.5 gone by in the fourth. Malone and Askew with the rebound. The Jazz have to make sure not to get into Seattle's pace.
That was the first hard trap of the ball at half court that we've seen the second half.
Hook shot by Detlef Shrimp. 17 for Shrimp, and his second basket last 2 times down. And now the crowd getting a little uneasy again, as they were moments before.
I like the timeout by Jerry Sloan. They have to get back in here and talk. Let's get our rotations where we're going offensively to combat the trap.
Gravity by Foot Locker. Of all the laws of nature, you are my least favorite.
It's not your fault you exist, but gravity.
You are no friend of mine. You do not belong in my house, though you show up every morning. I defy you, Gravity. You are not my obstacle.
That grin you see, that's me knowing I will beat you.
If only for an instant. Even if it's just for an instant. Foot Locker, where it all begins and gravity ends.
How does a mild-mannered single mother get from here to here? Find out on June 28th. Striptease, rated R. At Biz, June 28th.
Hurry into Pep Boys, where right now you can get any 4 all-season 35,000-mile tires for just $109. Any size, any 4 35,000-mile tires in stock, $109. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
No one knows why they play Follow the Leader, but at least we know who they've been following. Sea-Doo is the best-selling boat in the world.
Get your first jolt of the football season with the NFL on TNT, coming August 8th.
9-point lead for the Jazz with 9:04 remaining in the fourth. Let's go back and take a look at how this game has progressed. In the first quarter, Seattle led by 3, and it was Gary Payton off to a hot start with 13 points. Jeff Hornacek was in double figures with 10 in the second quarter as Utah led by 4. And then the mailman started to go to work in the third quarter. Malone in the game has 21 points. And after 3, it was a 7-point lead. The Jazz upped it to 13 points, but now the Sonics have come back to cut it to 9.
In games 1 and 2, Seattle was out in transition because they had 10 steals in each game. Tonight, Seattle only 3 steals, Gary Payton 0, so their transition game non-existent.
And then they've turned it over a million times. And
it seems like a million.
And we're underestimating that one. Hornacek with Stockton, Carr, Malone, and Russell for the Utah Jazz. Under 9 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
There's so much contact here.
Hornacek lays it, misses. Gets the rebound. How many times had he done that tonight? But it was last touch by Hornacek, and it's the Sonics ball.
Yeah, Jeff Hornacek got popped in the face, and you can see he keeps grabbing it. It's either his, I think it's his left eye.
This is playoff basketball. Hawkins in the lane. One-hander to Schrempf and Hawkins. And now they call traveling against Hersey Hawkins.
Seattle, they're getting frustrated. They're getting frustrated. They feel that on the drives to the basket, they're not getting any calls. And you can see the players are starting to really complain. And then also George Karl just doesn't feel that they're getting a good whistle right now.
And he's getting close to getting a technical foul at that.
Yeah.
And now they call the offensive foul. Sonics have turned it over 24 times. Not many games you're going to win with that many turnovers. Hornacek with his first foul. Payton and Hawkins in the backcourt with Askew, Schrempf, and Perkins up front. Kemp on the bench with 5 fouls. He has scored only 7 tonight for Seattle. Schrempf has been hot lately. Draws the foul. And Brian Russell, no. John Stockton, that's his third.
Anytime they come down and go into Schrempf against Russell, they double team, they get something good. Anytime they post Gary Payton down inside with Stockton, something good happens. But everything has been, they have gone away from those 2 pieces of strategy.
Hawkins hooked, lost the ball, but he was hooked, and Mike Mathis making the call, and now the Jazz are in the penalty with 8:04 remaining in the fourth quarter, and so now the Sonics will shoot the rest of the way.
No, that was an excellent call because he was definitely hit, not by 1 guy, but by 2.
Brian Russell with his 4th foul. Gary Payton with a short meeting with George Karl and Hersey Hawkins on the line.
Hersey, one of the best foul shooters that we have in the league. 6th in free throw percentage over the year at 87.
5 for 5 in this game, 9 for 9 in the series. It's almost perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say so. You're talking about a guy, he only scored over 3,000 points in college. In his senior year, when you think about Bradley, the guy scored 36 a game. Not bad.
Not bad at all. 4 minutes gone by. The lead is 7 for the Jazz. Was 13 points. Early here in the fourth quarter. Hornacek with Perkins defending. Here's Malone. And Malone missed. You wonder about the angle again, Hubie.
Yeah, but once again, see, he's getting fronted. They're making the lob pass. He's making the catch, but he's not finishing. See, now they're fronting right here. He's catching the guy. Now on the see, now watch right here. See, he leaves it short. Why? No elevation. He's making himself small on the release.
And the Jazz lose it on the out-of-bounds play, and the Sonics trying to make a rally here in the fourth quarter. They have run off 6 in a row, trying to take a 3-0 lead in the best-of-7 Western Finals. Wait for 3. He rushed that one.
He sure did. For plenty of time here. Main thing for Seattle is to get good looks.
And though Malone was not ready for that pass from Stockton, which is really unusual the way they've worked together, and he turns it over.
This game is so racket, I'm telling you. It's just unbelievable. Like, you have no idea what's going to happen, all right? Guys are like unforced errors, forced errors, but we have plenty of errors.
Hawkins working against Hornacek, and they're going to call an offensive foul.
Yeah, good call. Gary Payton stepped out and nailed Brian Russell on that cross screen across the lane.
3rd personal against Payton.
Just watch it. Now just watch as he steps. Now he's going to step and get him. Little acting that time, but he did step and get him.
7-point lead for the Jazz. They led by 7 at the end of 3 quarters. We have 7 minutes remaining. And Malone from Hornacek. Oh, with 23 points. Hornacek with 25 leads the Jazz score.
That's the second time they've run that play where he catches it in front of the rim. 2 dunks.
9-point lead. And Malone defending against Kemp. Called for the personal foul. That'll be 3 on Karl Malone.
Good call. Absolutely a good call. See, the last time down when they went to Kemp, that bump caused a turnover when Kemp went on that spin.
Kemp in there with 5.
Yeah, now just keep an eye here right now, see? Yeah, he popped him out there. Now watch. Boom. Of course that's a foul.
3 for 4 from the line as Kemp. Nate McMillan will replace Sam Perkins for the Sonics. Perkins goes out, having scored 5. Not one of his better offensive performances, but he's not through yet.
Right now, they're going small. Seattle going small, running Nate McMillan at that small forward position. You have Hawkins and Payton in the backcourt.
Sonics bench scored only 8 points. Been a big factor in the first 2 games of the series.
Well, that's the big upset in this game, along with the turnovers.
80-72, the Jazz lead under 6.5 to play in the 4th. Stockton back from Malone. And John Stockton just doesn't have the range or the act or whatever you want to call it for the perimeter shot.
Well, I'm surprised that he put that up because there was plenty of time on the shot clock. Karl Malone had Gary Payton playing him behind in the post. I thought that ball would go right back inside.
Here's Kemp playing with 5, going baseline, and a blocking foul, and Malone yelling at Mike Mathis.
Yeah, watch now. You don't want a technical now. Once again, Kemp on the left side of the floor loves to spin to the baseline. That's his favorite move.
It's against Russell, and that'll be 5 on Brian Russell.
You know, you look at that and you say, hey, that was a definite offensive foul. High school and college, absolutely. Here, you do that underneath the rim, you're not getting that in the NBA.
The backcourt tandem talking it over tonight. Stockton with 6, Hornacek 25. Kemp hits both free throws, and it's now a 6-point lead for Utah.
They're right there, and when you think that you can play this close with the adversity and the poor play that they've had, always within strike. Nice.
Pick and roll, the best. Malone from Stockton. How many times have these fans seen it over the years? 12 years for Stockton, 11 for Malone. 26 for Karl Malone, 16 rebounds, another banner game.
That was just a beautiful pass, splitting the trap people.
Here's Schrempf firing for 3. And Gary Payton gets the rebound. Schrempf again for 3, misses. And finally Malone with another rebound. That's 17 for the Mailmen. 82-74, Jazz by 8 as we get down to 5:20 to go in the 4th. Russell. Ryan Russell.
Once again, Antoine Carr with a great read of the trap and finding someone. He has had 4 excellent passes tonight.
And Larry Miller enjoying it, although he doesn't show it. 19 for Russell, having a great game off the bench for the Jazz.
We gave Dodge Ram the most powerful overall line of pickup engines on the planet. A driver's side airbag. The option of 4-wheel anti-lock brakes. A cab designed to set the standard for comfort and room. Then, after we made Ram that good, we made it this bad. The Ram Sport. At America's Truck Stop, the new Dodge.
Keeping your family healthy is a science and an art.
And a commitment. Choose your family doctor at Centera Healthcare Center, and you get it all.
Right in your neighborhood. By a doctor who takes a continuing and personal interest in you.
Family doctors, pediatricians, internists.
We bring the caring and commitment to you and your family.
Come, enjoy a healthy relationship.
Centera Healthcare Centers.
Call 1-800-CENTERA.
The vision is compelling. The lifestyle is rewarding. The satisfaction is gratifying. Home ownership is the American dream, and the Hampton Roads Homes Partnership encourages you to buy now. With interest rates as low as we've seen in decades and a broad selection of existing new and resale homes, now is the ideal time to realize your dream. Be a part of the positive business and personal growth sweeping Hampton Roads. Realize your American dream and buy now.
Guys, I know you want to do sports this weekend, but hear me. You've got to get to the Hub Furniture Center.
What can I say?
The Hub has dozens of half-price items, and everything else is on sale.
Isn't this great?
Sofa, love seat, tables, and dining group, all 9 pieces half price. Bedroom with armoire half price. Lazy Boy chaise recliner half price.
Isn't he wonderful?
And pay nothing till $19.97 with no finance charges.
And we'll spend the whole weekend shopping at the Hub.
Oh, not exactly.
What?
2 rounds of golf?
No.
1 round?
No.
You can caddy?
No.
Own a pickup truck? Listen up. Empire Machinery and Supply Corporation, located in Norfolk and Hampton, carries a full line of behind-the-cab heavy-duty cross boxes. Empire Machinery and Supply has the conventional weather guard box and also the new aluminum cross box in diamond plate. Empire Machinery and Supply Corporation also has in stock side boxes, ladder racks, and a complete line of NAC Storage Master Tool Chest. Call Empire Machinery and Supply Corporation at 855-1011, your #1 industrial supplier throughout Hampton Roads.
A little behind Stockton. It was more Hornacek pass. And now on the other end, Shrimp goes down the middle, has a great deflected by Antoine Carr. Great play by Carr against Detlef Shrimp, saving a basket.
What a beautiful play by Antoine.
Hornacek looking for Malone down low with 4:40 to go and 9 on the shot clock for the Jazz. Hornacek goes baseline against a tough defender in McMillan. Russell with 1 on the clock. Tipped away, out to Stockton, and a new clock.
Jeff Hornacek has had a sensational game.
Great hustle tonight.
All over the board. He's all over the place. He keeps things alive anytime they miss. Hornacek, 25 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists.
And here is Russell having a career playoff game. The Stockton in the lane draws the foul. And Hersey Hawkins committing the personal foul for the Sonics, his third.
Now here comes the transition. See, Antoine just measures this one. That was the 3-on-2. Detlef thought he had it. In that case, you got to try to send it down strong with a dunk.
We're in the 4th quarter of Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals between the Sonics and the Jazz. Seattle with a 2-0 lead in games, and the Jazz realizing if they have any chance in the playoffs in this series, they must win tonight. And they have come alive in the second half to lead 85-74. 4:07 remaining, but struggling, even though they have gone to the line so many times tonight. Utah 19 of 29 from the free throw line tonight. Stockton only 2 for 5. Now 2 for 6. That is totally a shock tonight.
Well, we said earlier, an 83% foul shooter on the year. He's usually between 83 and 88 during his career.
Shrimp misses the hook shot in the lane.
Well, Utah was looking for a third guy to come up big, and Brian Russell has definitely stepped up into that category.
You've always said you need 3 scores, and they've got it tonight with Hornacek, Malone, and Russell. And there is the mailman with his 28 points. Remember, he had 32 in Game 2.
See, Stockton is doing the intangible as well as Antoine Carr. Antoine Carr has stepped up at this center position and really given them a terrific lift with excellent passing and then good defensive play.
Jazz matching their biggest lead of 13 points. Have the ball again. Seattle has not had a basket in the last 6 minutes of this 4th quarter.
Karl Malone was rewarded once again his 8th straight time. First team All-NBA. And tonight, only 28 and 18 boards.
That's all. Stockton goes in and is fouled. And for John Stockton, second team along with Shawn Kemp and Gary Payton on the All-NBA team. But the 8th straight team for Karl Malone, who will turn 33 years old in July. And one of the great players who have never won an NBA title just to this point.
Well, we also know that Stockton made the All-NBA second team. He's been in the league 12 times. He's either been first or second team 9. Now think about it. Can you believe this? I have never seen him miss 5 foul shots, well, ever.
Basically, we have not seen the real John Stockton at all in the series, have we?
It becomes a mental thing right now. You can see he's continually hitting the back of the rim.
Jazz 88, Sonics 74, under 3 minutes remaining. As Utah trying to remain unbeaten in the playoffs at home and get back in the series. Percy Hawkins with a fake goes up for 3. And Antoine Carr boxing out and blocking out Perkins effectively.
That's all you ask. You ask your big people to get a body into the chest of people, give yourself a position, and then if you can keep it alive, just do it. Now, you can see they're doing a nice job here, spreading the defense.
Brian Russell, who had 16 against San Antonio in Game 2, but he has shattered that playoff performance with 22 tonight on an 11-0 Utah run.
Take the trap, hit the wing, in the middle, look for the 3.
Payton with a layup. But it may be a little too late for the Sonics. It could be a mission impossible for Seattle to pull out Game 3, 91-76, with under 2 minutes to go in the game, and the crowd quiet for a good part of it on their feet now.
Well, in the second half, the trapping at half court, definitely Utah's taking advantage of it.
Hornacek downtown, and that may be the nail.
What a game by Jeff Hornacek.
28 points for Jeff Hornacek, coming off a 22-point game, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, and brilliant on-the-court hustle for the loose ball.
His shooting percentage tonight, outstanding.
9 of 14 is Hornacek with 3 from downtown. Russell also with 3. Out of bounds, turns it over to the Utah Jazz.
Well, the last 2 threes by Utah, definitely a dagger for Seattle, and you can see the heads are down right now.
27th turnover by the Sonics. No way you win in the NBA that way. John Stockton controlling as the Jazz fighting and clawing back. They were down by 8 points in the second quarter. Stockton misses from outside. Antoine Carr has it stripped away, was looking for the foul with under a minute to go. And Askew controlling, but this is going to be a Utah win. McMillan misses outside and Russell the rebound. Well, the final minute, Hubie, of our TNT season, we want to thank a lot of people. We already did. And Rowan Backfist and Gary Lehman on your crew. Ken Nolan and Dan Regan on Chuck Daly's crew with me. And, of course, you had Bob Neal and your fine crew during the season. And as usual, we want to thank Marty Aronoff for his great work with all the crews during the season on his statistical work. And I tell you what, I can't wait for next season already, Hubie.
I know. We have not had as many games as we did a year ago. And the NBA playoffs a year ago set a record with 17 being decided by 3 points or less. A lot of series have ended quickly, but it has been an excellent year. And we'd just like to thank everyone that has made it possible for us.
And, you know, some years you get series in which teams win going away. This is our 40th game this year. We had 45 last year. But this series will go on, and Utah with Karl Malone getting the salute, having scored 28 points, 18 rebounds. His opposite number, Shawn Kemp, on the other team, only 10 points in foul trouble again tonight.
Now, we know the mailman had a great game. We know Hornacek had a great game. But the game ball goes to Brian Russell. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do for this young guy, but he had some outing this evening.
24 points, his playoff career high, and a chance for another one. He'll have to be content with 24.
But he's been the intangible man. The points are great, but every loose ball, all of the rebounding, he's just been all over the place and a good defensive job tonight, creating the deflection.
Hawkins misses a 3, and the rebound by Carr, standing O for the Jazz. It was tenuous for a while, but the Utah Jazz put the Sonics to sleep in the second half. They were sleepless away from Seattle. The game is over, and the Utah Jazz have won 96-76. They've won going away, and the series now stands 2-1 in favor of the Seattle Sonics. Karl Malone and Jeff Hornacek, the two big heroes, along with Brian Russell, Hubie, as you mentioned, off the bench, who scored 20 4 points. Right now, let's go to Reggie Theus, who's with Jeff Hornacek.
All right, Dick, thanks a lot. Jeff, just a tremendous basketball game tonight.
Well, we got after it tonight. They didn't trap us a whole lot. I think they figured we had prepared for that, so they didn't trap us. And all our guys, Brian Russell stepped up, did a great job for us.
But in 7-0 in the playoffs, in this building, you guys just own this place.
Well, you know, I think a lot of people thought the series was over after we lost 2 down there, but we have confidence we can win on our court, and we played on 3 close games at their place. So we still got some work to do on Sunday, but we feel pretty confident playing here.
I thought your defense tonight was tenacious. You guys trapped them quite a bit.
When you're down 2-0, you got to pull everything out. When we're at home, for some reason, we tend to rotate a little bit better. I don't know if it's familiarity with the floor or what, but we do a great job of rotating in this building, and that's probably why when we play in this building, we only give up 75, 80 points a lot.
All right, Jeff, great game. Let's go back to the table. Dick?
Great effort by Jeff Hornacek as the Utah Jazz now trail by 2-1, and we'll be back with Karl Malone here at the table in just a moment.